You are listening to Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford. Now let's head to the field with Zach Epstein.
Hello, everybody. Hello, football fans. This is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford. We are live here at the Palace, Kelly Reeves Athletic Conference, Athletic Center. Super excited to bring this one to you all today. Really good matchup in store tonight between the Stony Point Tigers and the Cedar Ridge Raiders. I'm joined by former coach and now Mickey Bouchong in the booth. How are you doing today, Coach?
Things are great, Zach. Good to be back with you and doing a ball game again. It's been relaxing being able to watch some football on Thursday and Friday nights without having to worry about us doing this, but it's nice to get back at it after these 2 weeks.
Absolutely, yes. Had a bye week after the game against Vandergrift, which is the last game that we came with Stony Point. Of course, the Cedar Ridge side, you'll be joining. You're not used to the normal crew. This is obviously a different crew, so we're happy to bring this game to you with Round Rock ISD football. We're going to jump into a few quick commercials, but we'll get right back and talk about a little bit of pregame show, some district standings, kind of the next couple games here for Stony Point and also for the Cedar Ridge Raiders. So back in a second, and we're going to bring you some commercials.
Longtime MacLeod parent Brian Kerman is a realtor who works for RE/MAX Capital City. Brian is involved in helping Round Rock families buy, sell, invest, and lease properties in the greater Austin area. He has been doing so for over 24 years. As a thank you to the community, he will be honored to donate $1,000 to your favorite booster club or other 501c3 if you use him and you close on a property. We hope you will contact Brian for all of your real estate needs at 512-921-4490 or at briankerman@remax.net. Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. With stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and our newest store serving Pflugerville and Hutto. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken, proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. The Texas standard. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. covertford.com.
If you're looking for a special medical spa to bring out the beauty that's in you, come visit us at Ginger Allure Med Spa. At Ginger Allure, we treat our staff and patients like family. We're here to embrace, enhance, and showcase your natural beauty with a full range of services such as injectables, laser treatments, permanent makeup, microblading, and more. We provide free consultations for all of our services to answer any of your questions. Visit us online at gingerallure.com or give us a call at 512-709-0161. Ginger Allure Med Spa, the classic approach to a new you.
Are you looking for a little something extra to get your business noticed? At Ideal Signs, they specialize in custom signage and large format digital printing in a variety of media. Their in-house design department can work with you to create custom artwork to your specifications. They'll work with you to conceptualize, design, and produce any custom projects or idea that you might have. Call 512-930-7446 or visit signsforsports.com. Ideal Signs, family owned and operated since 1969.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only card club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay. In Round Rock, just off exit 251 on I-35, the Lodge now boasts the largest card room in Texas with 82 tables, comfortable chairs, and 40 75-inch TVs. The Lodge provides fully trained dealers and on-site security with state-of-the-art camera system to ensure the comfort and safety of our members. Open 24 hours a day. More information at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045. Visit Maze Street Boutique in Round Rock for all your shopping needs. Whether you're looking for a special gift or that perfect outfit that everyone will love, we have you covered. Come visit us in-store or shop us online at maysstreet.com. We appreciate your business and thank you for shopping local. RJAC Pressure Washing, Epoxy and Stain, veteran-owned and operated, serving Central Texas. For the last 10 years, residential and commercial services available, here for all your decorative flooring needs. Call us at 512-593-8567. That's 512-593-8567.
You are listening to the Horn Webcast Network, powered by iHSFAN. If you're interested in advertising on or privately supporting this webcast, please reach out to us on Twitter at iHSFAN. All audio rights of this webcast presentation belong to iHSFAN, and any intent to rebroadcast or retransmit must have express written consent from iHSFAN.
Welcome, football fans. Like we said, it is a beautiful day here, just on the outskirts of Austin, Texas, in what we like to say is one of the greatest stadiums I've ever seen for high school football, at least back in the day when it was constructed in 2003. I lived across the street from it, saw it got built, and have plenty of memories here at Kelly Reeves Athletic Center. It used to be called the Palace. We love playing here. Turf field. It is wonderful out tonight, especially because it is 79 degrees, so finally catching a break from the tough heat of summer. As we all know, tomorrow is supposed to be even more special. But, Coach, now that we have some finally football weather, it's really getting us into that mood, right?
No doubt. We talked about looking forward to getting to this point when you and I were at House Park, and we did the Austin High game to get the season started. And, we're looking, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and it's still 90 degrees.
It's ridiculous, but nonetheless, we do have some great football coming up today. Obviously, two teams that are sitting at the bottom of the district standings right now, Cedar Ridge and Stony Point, both 0-2 a district. Same record otherwise, both 2-3. We look at Cedar Ridge, just for you Stony Point fans who may not know, they have come off a couple close games, but going back to the first game playing Cedar Park, lost 29-7, and then capping off two wins back-to-back against Austin Bowie, 24-17, and Harker Heights out in Killeen, 34-33, so a close one there. And taking on to the district side for Cedar Ridge, they played Vista Ridge in the Battle of the Ridges, ultimately lost 28-7, and took on Round Rock Westwood, who has looked really impressive this year, Coach, at least in the offensive side of the football, being able to score, and that showed up here as well with Cedar Ridge losing 41-0 there. So that kind of rounds out the Cedar Ridge schedule for you Stony Point fans who may not know. And for the Cedar Ridge fans looking at Stony Point, we have seen a few wins here for this team, coming into the week, capping off a first win against Austin High week 1, and then losing to the Killeen Kangaroos in week 2. Finally, taking another win a little bit closer back against, I forget who that was at the moment. Coach, do you happen to remember? I'm trying to pull up the schedule right now.
Oh, boy. I will
so long ago.
Real quick.
Either way, Stony Point looks to take on Cedar Ridge tonight, and in district have played Vandergrift at the first game of district, where we saw a 7-48 loss. Obviously, Vandergrift, one of the top teams in the state, with a lot of talent on that team. So tough wins. They're going to be the team to beat this year in district, as well as Stony Point falling to Round Rock 0-28 last week as well. So we talked about Pflugerville, again, was that other win for Stony Point. So, Coach, rounding out the district standings, I'll just read it off to you here so that we can kind of get a picture. But Vandergrift is sitting at 5-0 and 2-0 in district, so they're the clear number one team in this district at the moment. But Round Rock, a team that started off 0-3, is now 2-0 in district and sitting in that second place spot. Like we said, it doesn't matter about the non-district games. It truly matters about when you get in the district, because that's what matters in the playoff contentions. So we've talked about that before. And then last night, Vista Ridge took on Westwood, got the win, so they moved to 5-1 on the year, 2-1 in district, placing them in the third place Manor and McNeil, two teams that are actually not facing off tonight, but will be facing off soon. Manor is taking on Round Rock tonight with their 3-2 record in 1-1 district, as well as McNeil having the same record, 3-2, 1-1 in district, getting a win against Vista Ridge, 7-6. And then finally, to round it out before we get to our last two teams, Westwood is 4-2 on the year, 1-2 in district. Had a tough, close loss to Round Rock, 24-21, and then obviously that loss last night to Vista Ridge. So that leaves us with the last two teams in the district, Cedar Ridge and Stony Point. So that's just to give you a whole spectrum. And, Coach, this is kind of what we expected maybe in the beginning of the year. A little bit rocky start for Round Rock, but, kind of seeing them fall into where they think they should be up at the top there. Yeah,
2-0 in district is where we kind of expected them to be this time of year, but we didn't expect them to be 2-3 at the moment. So, right. Which team is it? Is it the team that played 3 teams early on and got beat, or a team that's really gotten on a roll lately? They look good on film and got after Stony Point, but they've still got to play Vandegrift. They've got to play some more good teams. So
right.
The top of the district's still up in the air, but it really, really is looking to shape out like Vandegrift is the team to beat in our district.
Absolutely, and looking at Stony Point, just seeing, the top 2 teams they've already played in district, they've gotten them out of the way. So, hopefully only things for at least Stony Point can go up, whereas Cedar Ridge does have to play both Vandegrift and Round Rock in the weeks to come. Looking ahead at the schedule, so just to give you all another picture of where we are right now, a lot of these teams have only played 2 games of district. There's 4 more games left. 5 more games left, including tonight for district. So a lot of things can change, but looking at Cedar Ridge's next couple games, obviously tonight taking on Stony Point, the next week going to have Manor come to visit them, probably here at the Palace. Vandegrift will be the next team on that list. They go to Vandegrift as well. Round Rock, and then McNeil finishing out the last week. So, the 2 tough teams in the middle there. McNeil hasn't been too bad either this year, getting the win against Vista Ridge, 7-6, who, Vista Ridge just, beat Westwood, and Westwood, like we've been talking about, has been extremely impressive. So a lot can happen in this district, Coach, and it's just heating up and getting exciting.
McNeil and Westwood right in the middle there, and, boy, those are 2 surprise teams that are right square in the middle of this race, and it really does seem to be, let's see who gets through the Vandegrift game unscathed and be able to move past that, because things haven't been going too well for whomever plays them.
Right.
But like you had mentioned, we've already played the 2 teams that are both undefeated, so things could start to look up for us.
Right, and look up for Stony Point as well. And Cedar Ridge having the 2 losses to, Vista Ridge and Westwood, 2 teams that played each other, very closely last night. So it's going to be a very interesting, culmination of what's to come. And, we gave you a little bit about the Cedar Ridge next couple games, but looking at Stony Point particularly, schedule, lightens up a little bit as we mentioned. So tonight with Cedar Ridge, next week with the third-ranked team in district right now, Vista Ridge, finally seeing the high-powered offense of Westwood, finishing out with the 2 M teams with McNeil and Manor, traveling out to Manor for hopefully a cold night in November. So that will start that. And, Coach, it's interesting because in each district, the number of teams can vary. So you can have some districts with 6 teams as opposed to some districts with 10 teams, and they're all fighting for the same amount of playoff spots. So it's very interesting when you kind of think about the dynamics of how each district is constructed. In this district, we obviously have 8 teams, so half the teams will make it, half the teams won't. And that's really where we come into seeing, who can make the push come to shove and really come out on top and fight for those, next 3 spots, essentially, because Vandegrift looks like they're the clear 1 seed at this point.
Sure, and Cedar Ridge and Stony Point tonight have both got their hands full, but I can guarantee that both teams think that tonight can be the start of something to get them going. Tonight's the night we're going to get it. We're not going to have sophomore mistakes from our young guys. We're not going to have whoever's hurt for us one way or the other, whether you're a Cedar Ridge fan or you're a Stony Point fan. Whatever has been an issue till now, right now is when it needs to get fixed, because going into next week 0-3 would be tough for either of these squads. But 1-2, heading into next week should be something to look exciting for.
You're absolutely right, and no team necessarily wants to start out in that 0-3. But that being said, district games, there are 7 of them, so you still have that opportunity to kind of come back on top, or win 2 or 3. Because ultimately, you might only need 3 victories in district to make a playoffs, which could definitely happen. But some other action around the district tonight. We do have Vandergrift and McNeil squaring off. That is a home game for McNeil. I believe that is out at Round Rock Dragon Stadium. We also have Round Rock and Manor facing off as well out in Manor. So I think that actually does it for all the matchups in our district tonight, because Vista Ridge and Westwood played last night as well. So be interesting. Like we said, 2 teams that are very similar on paper in terms of the record, but in terms of teams played, I think also very similar. Both them playing a Killeen team, an Austin team as well. So kind of getting that sense that maybe these teams are going to be well matched up. And like you said, we're going to have to see a lot of stuff. We've been covering Stony Point all year. We know that they have a lot of sophomores on their team. But looking at Cedar Ridge, I'm looking right now, their senior count is at 29. So, that might tell a story of, the experience level that is definitely going to be to play there for at least tonight's game. But, we do have about 9 minutes and 32 seconds to kick off. And if you can't see from your screen, there's a lot of pink on the field. And as everybody knows, that the pink represents Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October obviously being that. Love to see, the teams kind of embracing it. And you'll definitely see the players kind of come out with some pink swag on it, if you would say. But like we said, getting closer to kickoff time here between these 2 squads, and not too far apart from each other, these 2 schools. So we will definitely see a good matchup going forward. But I know, at least on my side of the deal, and I'll ask you the same thing next, Coach, about what needs to be done in terms for each of these teams to get the win. Obviously, you kind of briefly talked on both sides, making sure to not do what they did to lose games before. I think that is quite clear. But in terms of Stony Point, I think, we've been covering them all year. Obviously, Kenneth Calbus has looked really great as a sophomore, being able to really control and command this offense. But last week and the week prior to that, only 1 touchdown. So that definitely needs to change for this offensive unit going forward. I think it's a great chance for them to get back on track. And for the Cedar Ridge side, kind of the same story here. The last 2 games that they have played, only 1 touchdown. So, again, another parallel to both of these teams. They both need to get in the end zone. Both need to just work on scoring points, because right now it looks like these defenses might be maybe losing a little bit of confidence in themselves, but maybe it's because offensively there's just nothing going, and so defense has to play on longer. But, that might be a storyline in this game. But, Coach, love to hear from you. I know you mentioned a little bit about Cedar Ridge having some front line being a little bit of a problematic area for them, but love to hear what your thoughts are on this game.
Well, when I watched their game, the one game I saw them play, just had a hard time getting any kind of movement up front, and didn't really look at sizes or anything like that, because when you look from up here, you can't tell when one kid's 240 and one kid's 270, but it's not like they have a 160-pound lineman going against, a 260-pound defensive tackle. That's
right.
not what we're talking about. We're talking about maybe some of their young guys are up front. We'll find out and dig a little more into the roster as we see starting lineups and stuff like that. But I think tonight's game is going to be won or lost in the line of scrimmage. And early on, I'd say that looks, from what I've seen this year, that's been one of the strong points for Stony Point, their defensive line play. And I think Cedar Ridge, although they have plenty of skill kids, as long as they can get it done up front, they're going to give Stony Point a hard time. But they're going to have to do the job up front with their front 5. So it'll be interesting to find out, and I look forward to seeing it. And we're not far away from finding out the answer.
Absolutely not. No. As you can see on the field, Cedar Ridge looks like they're about to come out. Can't really read their sign, but some creative stuff done for that sign down there. Looks like Cedar Ridge does have a good turnout in terms of their student crowd. Love to see all the effort that these kids kind of put in. And on the Stony Point side, it looks like it's a red, white, and blue night or American-themed night, something to that degree, as everybody's kind of wearing those red, white, and blue stars and stripes. And over on the Cedar Ridge side, I see some onesies, so definitely maybe bring your pajama night or something like that. Always fun to see, kids are very creative and seeing, what is what. But having done senior night this year already for Stony Point, really all that's left for them is in terms of special nights is homecoming and obviously that last game between all the players and hoping sending off those seniors at the end of the year. But a lot of time still left. And here comes the Cedar Ridge Raiders sporting I believe that is a purple helmet with all white top and bottom, looking iced out tonight in their white jerseys. And Stony Point, who's had a problem of getting onto the field, getting a reasonable time before game time. Coach, I don't know if you remember a couple games ago, they were still in the locker room for 5 minutes into game time, but whether that was
still getting ready.
Yeah,
we're still getting ready.
Whether that was a strategy or maybe just the miscommunication, Stony Point is actually on the field a little bit earlier, and we see a few big of these players that are going to have to make some play, including number 90, Chimeo Onyaka. He's been a big star for them this year on the defensive front. And
he's going to have to be tonight as well, Zach.
Absolutely. And we kind of mentioned this earlier. Stony Point missing a few key players tonight. Hunter Alvarado, broken hand, will be out for at least another week. And then I believe Andrew Hill, running back, is also going to be out as well. But I think they should have his brother, Xavier Hill, and as well as Aaron Bolton. But that is definitely a huge miss, as Andrew has toted the rock very well, scored a bunch of touchdowns for Stony Point. Either way, 4 minutes to kick off, and we are seeing both of these teams get ready and geared up for what is going to be a great game here tonight in October football.
Yeah, the one thing about Hill being out right now lessens a little bit because the other Hill's done quite a good job, and we've had other backs come in and do a great job for him.
Absolutely.
So even in some downtime in that last game that we did together at the end of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Got it going.
Finally get some offense going there. So, well, here they come.
Yep.
3.5 minutes left, and they bust through, and they're ready to get it going.
Ready to get it going, and as both sides have their cheerleaders and dance team for the Cedar Ridge Raiders out in the field, it is football time as both sides have the bands as well here in attendance today, dressed in their formal garb, so we'll be able to see them perform at halftime. Again, we love all aspects of the football game, including the halftime entertainment. All the kids put in so much effort and work, and so we appreciate you joining us here tonight for some football between the Cedar Ridge Raiders and the Stony Point Tigers. Kickoff time is about 2 minutes away here at 7 o'clock, and we are sitting at, again, 79 degrees. Not really, the sun is not breaking through. There's a heavy clouds over us, but ultimately going to be a fantastic game for everybody involved, and we will set you live to the field for the national anthem. But just one quick word. This is Round Rock Football presented by Covert Ford, and we are excited to bring this to you tonight. But we're going to go radio silent for a little bit as we hear the national anthem, and we'll bring it back right afterwards.
You are listening to Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford. Now let's head to the field with Zach Epstein.
Yeah, this is Zach Epstein here, joined by my former coach, Coach Mickey Bouchong. We're really excited to bring this one to y'all today. Again, this is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford. We are joined in the booth with the coaches right next to us for Cedar Ridge, as well as have the film crew to our left. We are super excited to bring this one to y'all today, and we just got finished with the national anthem, so we'll now see the coin toss and see who comes out for both sides. It looks like for Stony Point, we do have Chime Owen Yaka, number 9, Iverson Collins, number 82 is not on my list. But number 70 as well is not on there either. So sorry about that, folks. But for Cedar Ridge, we have number 8. It looks like Braden Mitchell out there with number 81, Junior Gentry. Number 25 as well is Omar Long. And then it looks like number 28 is Kyle Alcorn as well. So those are your captains here tonight, and I think we just got the names of those other captains out there. So Jamie Soles is number 82, and then Jason Izziati is number 70 out there as well, offensive lineman. So really excited to bring this to y'all tonight again, like we said. But here's the coin toss about to get underway.
I bet if Stony Point wins, they defer, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that happen a few times this year. Again, both teams 0-2, looking to avoid going 0-3 to start district. And we have the coin toss. See, it looks like Cedar Ridge defers the call, and Stony Point will more than likely receive the ball going forward. Yep, that's what it'll be. First half receiving for Stony Point, and Cedar Ridge will get the ball at halftime, so always advantageous to maybe take the defer just in case you need the ball going into halftime. We are, again, really just happy to be here again. Took a short break. There was a bye week, and then we let the Round Rock crew go ahead and cover Stony Point last week, and we're super excited to bring y'all football for Cedar Ridge as well as the Tigers for Stony Point. But we'll have the kickoff again by Noah Lopez, who has been doing a good job kicking the ball for the Tigers this year, but I will let you know who's back to return once we see it. Yeah, and looks like for receiving the ball is for Stony Point is number 3, and that is Shane Werner, defensive back there, as well as Aiden Wheeler, running back as well. So kicking off for Cedar Ridge will be number 12, and that is William Hamilton. He is the punter and kicker senior as well. So, again, glad to be back here. Super excited to bring this one to y'all. It is game time in Austin, Texas. 7:05 is the time. We are super excited to bring this one to y'all.
Okay, Zach, they're both ready to get their first district win, and let's get this thing rolling.
Here comes the kick. And that is fielded by Werner in the end zone. He takes it up the field, makes 2 men miss, and we do see 2 flags come out on the play. But that tackle was made by the Cedar Ridge Raiders on the good coverage. So we'll probably see this one come back, return out to about the 20-yard line here for Werner, who made a couple guys miss, but maybe got some help from his teammates.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a hold. Yep, looks like it. On both sides.
Yeah, it looks like it was maybe a pushing call or blocking the back of some sort. And then there was another call on Cedar Ridge. So both will probably offset here. And we'll see the ball resting at the 20-yard line for Stony Point to start off. Maybe not. Having some confusion here. So blocking the back on Stony Point and holding on Cedar Ridge will have us, instead of taking the ball at the 20, they will offset and we'll just have another re-kick here. So interesting way to start off the game again. So Werner will get another chance to return the ball. as well as Hamilton will get another chance to boot it away deep.
Oh, Warner's been pretty steady Eddie back there all year.
Absolutely. He's been doing a good job and, playing some tough receivers out there on the outside all year and just being called to basically shadow them. So he's definitely been doing well, and just wanted to also celebrate. Caden Cook got an offer from Cal University and has committed there, the junior for Stony Point. Congratulations out to him. I know that's super exciting for him, and he's definitely worked for it. So we're happy to share that news with everybody. But we are about to get kicked off here again. Hamilton, number 12 for Cedar Ridge, is lined up to boot it away. Warner and Wheeler back for Stony Point. And another deep kick. This one not as deep, though, to the only 5-yard line. Warner takes it back. Is able to get to about the 17-yard line here. So didn't get to the 20 like he did last time, but about a 12-yard return right there for Warner. And now we'll see Kenneth Calabas and the Stony Point offense take the field for the first time in about 2 weeks for us. And we'll get to see the Cedar Ridge defense for the first time this year, which we're really excited to bring y'all and hopefully be able to get some of these names right off the bat, but may take some time. So anyways, Stony Point offense coming out into the field here. Cedar Ridge lines up in a 4-man front, 3 linebackers. Stony Point sends a man in motion. Snap the ball, handoff, up the middle. Nothing really doing there. About 2 yards and tackle by the DBs there, number 30. That is Michelle Desser made the play, as well as that is number 18, Logan Cowdbund, getting in on the action as well. So 2 of these receivers, Coach, for Stony Point have been very impressive this year. That is Gomez and Rhymes, who play both outside receiver positions.
Different games, each one of them has really shown out. So I'm curious to see if one of those 2 or maybe even both can have a big game again.
Yep. Calbus backs the pass. No one there. Takes off and run. Immediately hit by number 54, and that is Wyatt McKenzie, the D lineman on the play. So he definitely snuffed that one out for Calbus, and we're faced with a 3rd and 8 for the Stony Point Tiger offense here on their first drive. Still waiting for the sign here, waiting for the signal. 15 seconds left on the play clock, so got to get this one in quick. Now down to 10. So Cedar Ridge in that 4-man front again. Clock ticking, and there it is.
Boy.
That should be a penalty flag again. So clock ticked down a little too quick, but no penalty flag as Stony Point is able to take the timeout here. So we'll take a quick timeout break and go to one of our sponsors, but we'll be right back with you in about 30 seconds.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. With stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and our newest store serving Pflugerville and Hutto. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken, proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. The Texas standard. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good.
We're back, folks. And so after that quick timeout to avoid the penalty, Stony Point again is out there on the field. So a couple penalties already in this game for both sides, but Stony Point obviously trying to avoid that one there. So 3rd down and about 8 here. And Cedar Ridge sends a blitz. Kenneth Calbus has a man open, and that is Gomez. He takes the ball. He's going to score here. And we were just talking about that, Coach. So number 12, Andrew Gomez, takes the ball, and Kenneth Calbus put it right on the money there for a touchdown. So touchdown for Stony Point, and their student crowd is blowing smoke right now. Got some smoke going in the air. They're very cool props that they brought in. But nonetheless, Coach, what happened there?
Looked like it could have been a blown coverage because there was nothing in the middle of the field right there. Or else, as he's done before numerous times this year, he's just taken off and and he's just taking off and leaving guys when he's getting man coverage. So
fumbled snap here, and helmet comes off. So lucky to see there. But anyways, the score here now is 6-0. Stony Point strikes quickly, and Coach, that could have been a tougher situation had they not gotten that quick score right there. As they're facing a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, it was 3rd and 7, and they obviously picked it up with a big one, and that's
the way it goes, right?
Yeah, that's a big play. When we saw them play Austin High early in the year, they started off with a bang and carried that momentum a little bit into the rest of the first half, throughout the first half.
Right.
Well, now it's going to be up to Cedar Ridge to say, no, that's not how it's going to go. We're going to get the ball and let's go do something ourselves.
Right, and we talked about it earlier. Both of these teams, only 1 touchdown in the past 2 games they played. Already a quick one here in the first 5 minutes of this ball game, as the clock is only at 10 minutes and 5 seconds. So we have Noah Lopez back to kick for the Stony Point Tigers, and back to return is Cedar Ridge. That is number 2. That is Eddie Carrethos. He takes the ball. He is screaming down the field. As number 3, Hosea Ray gets a great return, taking it from the 5-yard line all the way to the 30, crossing all the way across. And, Coach, that was some serious speed from Ray going out there.
Yeah, he got out in a hurry. Obviously, he tried to go up the middle and bounced it down the left side.
Got a good gain, and now Cedar Ridge is in good field position here with the ball at their own 32-yard line. So line to gain is the 42 for Cedar Ridge, and coming out here, quarterback number 10, I believe. That is Jack Pippin, or cannot see the numbers from up here, but nonetheless, getting the ball in here. So Stony Point comes out on defense with, a few all-district players from last year and one, player who just committed to Cal. So definitely a tough defensive front here. And Cedar Ridge sends a man in motion. That's number 4, Jordan Ramsey. Number 10, quarterback, hands the ball off, and that's Jack Pippin who's starting at quarterback. Hands the ball off to number 28, and that is our number 24, Michael Reniafonia. So Andrew Johnson now joins Pippin in the backfield there, as there's a 2 running back set, and ball is handed off from Pippin. Tackled by Stony Point. Does a good job there getting to the ball, and that was number 25 or number 26 for Stony Point, Joaquin Mendez. So Joaquin Mendez is a sophomore for the team, kind of filling in, I'm sure, for Hunter Alvarado, who I'm sure they're missing right now. But Cedar Ridge is faced with a 3rd down and 9 situation here, and they're waiting to get the signal in. Similar situation here for Cedar Ridge.
Tight formation here.
Yeah, definitely a tight formation, so we might be seeing a run, but trips to the bottom of the screen. Ramsey in motion. Pippin takes the ball and roll out. Finds a man over the middle and taken down. But that is number 83 catching the ball on the first down play, Jake McGill, the sophomore. And making the tackle there was a gang of tacklers for Stony Point. There was number 26 again for the team, Joaquin Mendez, as well as Caden Cook. So first down here for Cedar Ridge. They get the ball out, and now they're in an ace set formation with running back to the side of Pippin. So we'll see here. Snap low on the ground, and Stony Point gets back there very quickly. Making the play was Tristan Butler on the play, and on the run there was number 20, Andrew Johnson. So Andrew Johnson totes the rock there.
Early on, Zach, it's kind of playing out the way I've seen on film. There up front there is going to be a hard time with the defensive front from Stony Point.
Absolutely. So seeing here a double back set, another snap on the ground, and Pippen throws a ball to a receiver who's wide open and just over the hands of Junior Gentry, who had a step on Shane Werner, who we talked about all year as being a lockdown corner, but gets beat there, and now we have a flag on the field, Coach. Not sure what it might be. Probably defensive holding. And that will be the call here. So be an automatic first down and a big gain here for Cedar Ridge as they were in a tough third down and long situation. But ball has been on the ground a few times here, Coach, from the snap. So definitely something that they're trying to fix.
Yeah, they'll get that worked out.
But
that can't be an issue for the rest of the evening, that's for sure, if there's going to be any kind of continuity on offense.
And so that brings the ball across the sidelines to the 46-yard line, 47-yard line. Apologies. Seems to have some difference in the sticks here as they moved up the offense, but the sticks are saying third down and about 12 still, which is definitely not the case.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure something out here.
And it's not 3rd and 10 either.
No. All right. Think that we fixed everything there.
There we go.
So here we are.
1st and 10 on the right hash plus 48. Here we go.
So Pippen sends a man in motion, hands the ball off to number 21. That is Malik Hamilton, who gets driven back on the play by Iverson Collins and a gang of tacklers for Stony Point. So, again, another run play, not much doing. Haven't seen too much out of the Cedar Ridge offense besides that one long pass play so far on their first drive, and obviously the penalty, which results in a first down. But still, trying to run the ball is definitely going to be tough as it seems right now.
Yeah, right now it seems like they're it's kind of what Stony Point does best is stop the run, and they're running into a tough time. They run some option, quarterback cups it back.
Pippen, a fast scamper there. It would look like a speed option, but cuts it back, finds a lane, and Pippen driving the ball down the field by himself gets a 40-yard gain, but before we move the sticks here, we do have a penalty flag on the field, so maybe coming back. And it is holding on Cedar Ridge, so that big play is going to come back, and that is unfortunate for this Raider offense.
Yeah, he's trying to run speed option, pitch off the in-man line of scrimmage probably. And he just cut it back door and had all kinds of room right there.
Yeah, and Pippen showing off some wheels. I believe he's a junior. Yeah, junior from for the Raiders is definitely taking off and running there, showing his wheels, and honestly maybe giving this Stony Point team some reason to think that it might be a scrambler, which could extend plays and is something that is very useful, especially in high school, to find people open downfield. But nonetheless, it is a second and long situation here, second and about 18. Pippen hit as he throws, and that is Chime Onyaka getting in there for the Tigers. Ball was intended for number 83 on the Raiders. That is Jake McGill, the sophomore, again, who caught that first down pass earlier.
Yeah, so far this has been a number 90 story up front. They're going to have to do something about him, and I'm sure they'll figure it out. But right now, he's kind of having his way up front.
Yeah, making it a little difficult to really run any type of offense is Chime Onyaka. So
yeah, they run at him and he stuffs them. They try and run quick game, and he's right in the quarterback's face.
So Pippen again
and
drops back and
happens again.
Like you said, Coach, right in his face. Pippen trying to look deep to complete that third and about 18, but gets dropped in the backfield by Chima. So Chime Onyaka, 2 back-to-back tackles for losses, and we do have another flag on the field. Looks like just be declined.
Sideline warning.
A sideline warning. So 4th down and about 20. Yes, 4th down and about 20 there for Cedar Ridge. as they will be punting this one away. And Hamilton will step back to punt for them, number 12. And yeah, Shane Werner, who returned the two kickoff earlier, but really only one because it counted. But Shane back to return for the punt here. Snap away. And they almost got there, Stony Point. Good punt, high hanging in the air, and it gets a great bounce for Cedar Ridge just outside the 21. And we do have a out of bounds at the 21-yard line there. So seeing, again, the Stony Point offense come out, and for a couple plays there, it wasn't look like much was going for the Stony Point offense. And then that big, just busted wide open play by Gomez as he just got past the defender, open field, scored that lone touchdown that we've seen. But 6:16 left in the first quarter here for this game so far.
Yeah, having a hard time getting a play in, having to call a timeout to avoid a penalty, having 3rd and long, and then getting something like that to break you loose. It's
definitely what you would like to see. So trips to our bottom of our screen, top of our screen, and Gomez again gets the ball. Penalty comes out, so that is a very high percentage amount of plays that have had a penalty on them so far in this game tonight for both sides. Not sure what the call is going to be here, but maybe the motion was turning up the field as both these teams are kind of walking backwards. We'll see what the call is here. So illegal motion there will bring the ball back about 5 yards. So, again, first down and 15 this time instead of 10. And Kenneth Calabas comes back there with Xavier Hill and switches them aside. Draws back to pass. Pressure right away and just throws the ball away. Smart decision there by the young quarterback as he was met with pressure immediately from the Cedar Ridge defense. They got in there very quickly, Coach.
Yeah, they're getting in his face. If they're going to keep bringing pressure and play man coverage behind it, they need to make sure they get home.
Absolutely, and
which they did and got a great result of it right there.
So 2nd down and 15 because of the incompletion there, and Cedar Ridge, and again a four-man front. Gomez goes in motion for the Stony Point Tigers. And Calabas backs up and throws the ball deep, almost right into the hands of a defender, number 23 for Cedar Ridge. That is Davon Crank. Had it in his hands almost like he was running the route, but just drops it, and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf for a 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, that's when the DB has a lot more chance of making a play, obviously, than the receiver.
And the ball was thrown a little bit inside, Coach. You know, when you're taught to throw that go route, you don't want to throw it from between the numbers and the outside hash because that's usually where your man is going to be more likely to get it. You throw it too inside, then the safety can maybe potentially make a play. But now we have an empty set here for the Stony Point Tigers. And Calabas, with pressure in his face, delivers a strike to Hill, who gets a 5-yard gain, not enough anywhere near first down. It will be 4th down and about 12 here. 4th down and 11, apologies. So we'll see a kick.
Well, we talked about the lines being a big part of this, and Calabas isn't having much time to do anything back there either.
No, not at all, Coach. You know, this Cedar Ridge front, got to give them credit where it's due because we've seen Stony Point's offensive line, at least we have, perform very well and give Calabas some time. But on the 2 dropbacks there, he was just faced with pressure immediately. And ball is away. Punt is low, and it gets a Cedar Ridge bounce. But Wheeler is able to that is Aiden, the backup quarterback for Stony Point. He was able to grab that one, and Aiden Green, that is. He was able to grab that in before it got any closer to Stony Point's touchdown.
Boy, they're going to have great field position right here. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try and have a big play.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be a great drive here for Cedar Ridge. They're looking to capitalize on the field position with trips to the top of your screen, single receiver down to the bottom, and Pippin drops back to pass and has a flag come in. Werner on the isolation coverage out there with number 14 for Cedar Ridge. Number 14, that is Reese Brooks, the junior wide receiver. He's a tall target out there, and Pippin just tried to throw it up and go out to catch. Werner drives him out of bounds, and we get the penalty call. So be another first down here for Cedar Ridge.
Yeah, that's one way to move it down the field, and they're definitely doing it. And we'll see what happens right here. They tried to go deep right there and got the second best thing that can happen after a completion, get a penalty.
And so we have trips, same formation, motion now, handoff, keeper by the quarterback, Pippin, who showed his legs earlier in this game but had the called it back and does what he needs to do there to get the ball in the red zone. So that will be a second down and about 3 to go here for Cedar Ridge as they are knocking on the door for Stony Point's defense. And, a couple penalties here for Cedar Ridge has led them into Stony Point territory twice, but ultimately getting a sack last time and a couple tackles for losses led the Cedar Ridge drive to an end. But here we go. Handoff up the middle, and that is Johnson, tackled by a few Stony Point Tigers, and that is
getting a little traction with their running game now, Zach.
Yeah, absolutely, trying to keep it going.
Getting a little movement up front.
And that was Jordan Garcia, defensive lineman, on the tackle there for Stony Point. But, yeah, getting a little bit of push here now. Maybe defense being on the field a little too much. I mean, this has been 2 sustained drives here by Cedar Ridge, whether or not it's by penalty, but 2 sustained drives nonetheless, and the Stony Point offense is off the field. We do have twin backs set in the backfield there. Handoff outside jet sweep. Not much doing there. Tackle there by number 13 on Stony Point. That is Daniel Sawyer on the play. So he's been involved too a lot on a lot of different tackles in previous games and showing his range there, coming all the way over from the other side of the field. Now a second down and about 7 for Cedar Ridge as they're facing in the red zone here. And we do have a bunch trips set to your top of your screen. Aiden Werner down the bottom as well. Roll out left. Pippin finds somebody and gets into the end zone, and that is a touchdown caught right on the goal line. Trying to see who that is for Cedar Ridge, but it is a touchdown, and now we see immediately the Raiders go into a swing and gate formation. But touchdown there by Cedar Ridge, so to tie the game here, 6-6, and now we will see a kick. We will see an extra point attempt here. Always like to maybe catch you running on the swinging gate there, but we're going to see the kicker come out and try to nail this one through the uprights to take the lead 6-7. But here is the kick. It is up, and it is straight through the uprights there. So Cedar Ridge jumps on the board and jumps to the lead with about 3 minutes and 41 seconds left. And they must be feeling good, Coach, because now they have their first touchdown, or not first touchdown because they scored last week, but they have the past 2 games have only had 1 touchdown, and they get their first touchdown here in the first quarter. So they must be feeling good, get on the board just like Stony Point did.
No doubt. And they actually, we were talking about they're having a hard time up front getting any kind of movement. Well, they gave their quarterback time to throw. They also had movement on a couple running plays, so they're starting to get some things figured out with their offensive line.
Absolutely. Definitely got a good push there. And so Stony Point will try to answer here. We have Werner and Wheeler back there again to return. Hamilton set to kick off for the Raiders here. And Stony Point wants to definitely stay on the field a little bit longer than they have been because their defense, has been on the field quite a bit this first quarter, and that might come to play later on in the game, getting down close to it if time possession still on the side of Cedar Ridge. But kick is about to come out from Hamilton as he's taking his steps up to the ball, and he boots it away deep to Werner again. Werner takes it from about the 2-yard line, runs it out, has open field. He cuts it all the way up. He gets a block, and might have been a block in the back, but able to get it out to the 28-yard line as another flag comes out, Coach. These refs are trigger happy with the flags, or maybe there's just too many mental mistakes going on right now, but ultimately seen a lot of laundry on the field tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter if there's a change of possession. You're pretty sure you're going to have a flag called as of right now. A lot of games are like that, especially early in the year, but by this time of year, shouldn't be nearly the case.
And looks like maybe a face mask call actually on Cedar Ridge. So Stony Point will benefit from this penalty for about a 15 yards extra here. So getting the ball a lot closer to the other side of the field. Ball is at the 44-yard line here for Stony Point, and now they get to start in even better territory. So great return by Werner, but capped off by a penalty here. So Kinnick sends a man in motion. Handoff. Not much doing there. Tackle by number 87 for the Raiders. Number 97, I'm sorry, that is Jonah Collis. So Jonah getting in there and making the play. So tough sledding so far for the run game of Stony Point. Not much going on. Definitely missing, Andrew Hill, who's has those many touchdowns and that breakaway speed that we've seen me and you coach multiple times this year.
Yes, and hopefully he'll eventually get back.
But we do have the Stony Point Tigers coming out. They have about 8 seconds to snap the ball. Had to burn a timeout earlier due to that. So trying to get the ball in, 3 seconds, and there's a snap right before it happens. Ball comes out, swing pass to Hill again, who gets driven back and keeps his feet. He bounces it outside, keeps it moving. He breaks away, and it looked like, Coach, he was done. He got hit 3 or 4 times with the ball before he even passed the line of scrimmage, and just somehow miraculously picks up about 20 yards on just a quick scamper outside.
Yeah, that was tremendous effort right there. Tremendous effort, great balance by keeping his feet moving. Bounced out, looked like one of the guys seemed to stop on the other side of the field defensively and assumed he was down, and he just kept going.
Yeah, it looked that way from up here, Coach. I mean, I don't blame him. It looked like he was getting driven back, but just kind of backed up a little faster and able to make a play. So Stony Point comes out again, facing that 4-down line front. Handoff again. This is a zone play here. Not much doing, but a gain of about 5 yards here, and that's a tackle by number 80, Lawson Bowers. As well, so he made the play there. It might have been number 90. I'm sorry, Jackson Yanuzzi. The 8-9s look very similar, but nonetheless, Cedar Ridge hoping to get a stop right here, and Stony Point hoping to get another first down. It is 2nd and long here, 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. And Kinnick with all sorts of time throws a ball deep to number 19 for Stony Point, who just got right past the defender. That is Willie Freeman on the outside. So another receiver here for Stony Point kind of stepping into the limelight. And, Coach, I got to tell you, I love his cleats. Those look like golden cleats from up here. I can see him shining from the booth. But obviously special cleats because he made a great play right there.
Yeah, he did. That was looked like corner was staying shallow, safety was over the top, and they kind of threw it right in between them.
Yep, finding the holes in the defense. So Kenneth Calabas leads the team up to the 15-yard line, 16-yard line here, hands the ball off to Hill again, who gets met almost immediately, and that was a great tackle by number 18 on the defense. That is Logan Kalbund. He's the senior linebacker for them, obviously making a big hit there on the sophomore running back here for Stony Point. But we still have not finished the first quarter with a minute and about 20 seconds left here. We see Kenneth Kalbas talking back to the coaching staff, trying to get the play under wraps. Here comes motion. And there's the snap. Man missed, and Kenneth Calba sees an open lane, takes it, and is able to get down to about the 4-yard line. And he almost got sacked in the backfield, but makes it play.
I'm not so sure that was on purpose, him doing a little spinaroo there, but hey, it worked out just fine.
Worked out for him, and I'm sure the Cedar Ridge defender there, who basically came unblocked, definitely wants that one back. So nonetheless here, ball is now at the 4-yard line, apologies, with goal to go here for the Stony Point Tigers. So Calbas fakes the handoff and tries to bust it outside, but gets dragged down by number 1, and that is Baron Robinson, who makes a great tackle on what could have been, potential touchdown as Kennick looked to get his I'm sorry, that wasn't Kennick. That was Aiden Green, the senior quarterback who, as we've seen, has come in and run the ball very well as kind of like the power runner for the team. But Aiden and Kennick were 5 and 6, so very close in terms of the numbers. And looks like the Tigers
go to the quarter.
We'll just let this clock roll down to the half. So we're going to take a short break again, bring you a little bit of commercials, but we will be right back.
Longtime McNeil parent Brian Kerman is a realtor who works for RE/MAX Capital City. Brian is involved in helping Round Rock families buy, sell, invest, and lease properties in the greater Austin area. He has been doing so for over 24 years. As a thank you to the community, he will be honored to donate $1,000 to your favorite booster club or other 501c3 if you use him and you close on a property. We hope you will contact Brian for all of your real estate needs at 512-921-4490 or at briankerman@remax.net.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. covertford.com.
Coach, we're back here again, and it looks like we timed that perfectly, getting a few ads in when won by our title sponsor, Covert Ford, which we are happy to say we are presenting Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford, title sponsor. Kenneth Calvas drops back to pass, has a man open, throws. Does he hang on? He does. That is a touchdown here for Stony Point. Going to, again, that is Gomez one more time. So, actually, no, that is Tristan Rhymes. Apologies. Goes there one more time and gets the touchdown. So, touchdown there by Stony Point. And it looks like the offense will stay on the field as they did not get the 1-point field goal last time. They'll be looking to take 2 points here, trying to get that 14-7 lead. But right now, score 12-7, and just like that, start the second quarter, we see some fireworks with a touchdown. So men in motion here. I'm sorry, not. They're just trying to get set. And still trying to get set. Now we see some motion. Kenny Calvas rolls out, throws it deep in the back. Did he get his feet in? He did not, but wow, what positioning. Almost a toe tap in the back of the end zone. What a throw by Calvas, which just led him a bit too far on the outside. And Cedar Ridge is accepting that as they are only down by 5 points now and just need to march it, keep the drive moving and to score another touchdown. But 12-7 here, Coach, and we know we have plenty of football left to play, about 3 quarters left. We are super excited to bring you some more football, but really seeing a good showing from both of these teams, which had struggled recently with scoring the football, but obviously not a problem anymore as we are continuing to score. And apologies on that touchdown. It was not Rhymes. That was Alex Freeman. So both Freeman brothers getting involved in some action there. So we had Willie catch that ball, down the sideline to set up, a 1st and goal for a first down from the 15-yard line, and then, Alex jumps in the end zone there, grabs the touchdown, the tight end. Back to return for the Cedar Ridge Raiders is number 1, Barron Robinson, and number 3, Josiah Ray. Lopez is coming to kick the ball. He boots it deep. That's going to be received right at the 2-yard line there. And some speed here. And that is Ray once again, who stays on his feet. Almost looked like he got tackled, but continued to keep his feet up and gets out of bounds. So great return right there from Cedar Ridge. That is Josiah Ray, who's just a speedster out there.
Okay, now we were just talking about it, Zach. Are we going to see the offensive line play of that last series that was just this side of dominant, or the one that struggled at the first? It'll be good to see right here if they can continue what they're doing up front, or if there's an answer from the Tigers.
Yeah, they need a response here, especially in a game where both these teams are just trying to get right. Starting off with a couple wins early in the year for both these squads, going 2-1 in non-district play, and then now starting 0-2. They need to get right, and this is a good game for both these teams. It's evenly matched, and that ball is driven up and run, excuse me, that is run by Hamilton. Malik Hamilton, he takes the ball up and gets about a 2-yard gain, tackled there by a lot of Stony Point Tigers. So we have 2 matchups on the outside here. It looks like Stony Point's playing a lot of man on the outside with Lucas Garcia and Shane Warner on both corners. Pippin takes the ball and throws it out to the sophomore wide receiver, number 83, who gets busted out of bounds by number 22, Isaiah Cantrell, the linebacker for Stony Point. So enough for first down, and number 83, who is the sophomore, Jake McGill. He's obviously a target for Pippin to lock in on, as he's tried to get the ball 3 or 4 times here. But Cedar Ridge is marching here, first down and about 10 yards to go from their own 33-yard line. So play clock is ticking down here. Got about 8 seconds to snap the ball. Might see a timeout here by Cedar Ridge.
Burn one, Zach.
Yep. And they will burn timeout here as the clock ticks down, or maybe no. So I guess time was paused. Now they get another 25 seconds to call the play, and not sure exactly what happened there, but anyways. Now, again, getting down to inside 10 seconds here to snap the ball. So getting a second chance, but maybe not taking advantage of it. Stony Point comes out in a 4-man front here. Here comes the snap just with 1 second left. Handoff, and that is a great run, hard run by number 21 there. And that is, again, Malik Hamilton. So Malik Hamilton toting the rock there, getting about 7 yards. So trying to get the play call in, and we do have some subs for Cedar Ridge as they are trying to get aligned here. And maybe a new strategy is try to take some time off the clock. They're definitely not rushing themselves here as a team that, historically been able to get up to the ball quickly and snap it. But trips to the top of your screen, we have single receiver coverage down bottom. And Pippin throws the ball out wide to his number 4, Jordan Ramsey, the senior, who gets up the field for about a 3-yard gain, bringing it to 3rd and 1. So 3rd and short here, Coach.
Yeah, it's a big down for them. They can really put some pressure on the defense if they'll get a first down right here.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know Stony Point on the other side is thinking we need to get off the field here, get a stop, because both offenses, after their first drives, respectively, second drive for Stony Point, but first drive for Cedar Ridge has stopped, and since then just kept moving the ball. And it keeps moving, getting the first down here. That is Malik Hamilton once more. He's just running in there, very hard speed, trying to get an apologies, not Malik Hamilton. That is Andrew Johnson, the other senior running back. So they're using 2 backs here quite a bit. obviously Hamilton and Johnson with Pippen in the back as well throwing the ball. So first down and 10, still on their own side of the 50, ball at the 48-yard line with, 10 yards to gain.
Still getting a lot of man coverage on the outside two receivers.
Yeah, they're trying to definitely focus in and have trust that their guys can make the plays. And ball up, Caden Cook makes a fantastic play. And that ball looked like, Ramsey had a chance to grab it. And Caden Cook really just closed in on it kind of towards the end and showing that, he's going to a D1 school for a reason right there, breaking up that play.
It was good pressure put on the quarterback as well. He didn't have time to really set his feet and cut loose the way he'd like.
Yep, and it brings up a second down and about 10 here, Coach. So second down and 10 to go. 9 minutes still in this second quarter here. Ramsey goes in motion. Pippen drops back to pass, rolls out to his left. Had a man open, just missed him. That's number 81, big wide receiver, Junior Gentry, who got that nice pass interference call down at the bottom of our screen here earlier to set up a nice drive and a score. But third down and 10, something that this team hasn't faced in a minute in terms of long-distance third down. They've done a good job maintaining, staying ahead of the sticks, being able to have a couple third down and shorts. But now, Coach, a third and long situation. So we'll see what the play call is here, but we got twins to the bottom of our screen, double backfield, and Pippen takes the ball, rolls out, has pressure in his face, and throws an interception. That ball is picked off. That is Heeson Yang, the DB, the other safety to Caden Cook, and he makes a great play and just reads that ball, and essentially we see a punt happen with the turnover, Coach, right there.
Well, as to the open inside, there's nothing to hold the safety there. There's one-on-one coverage outside and no reason that the safety had to go anywhere except play over the top, and that was a pretty easy pick for him.
Yep, and we kind of saw something similar where Stony Point Kenneth Kalbas threw, a ball that should have been picked off, but, fell harmlessly to the turf for the Tigers, and one that I'm sure the Cedar Ridge side would love to have back. But we do have trips to the bottom of your screen here. Man in motion, handoff. Hill gets a little bit of a push here, and it continues to go. And no whistle yet, but finally get a whistle as everybody was just kind of standing in a big old huddle themselves. But 5-yard gain there. So staying ahead of the sticks is definitely a game plan here for both sides of the ball. But Stony Point kind of showing a little bit of speed here with what they're doing, as opposed to Cedar Ridge, who was taking some time off the clock there with their last drive. Kenneth Kalbas hands off, and good hard run. Oh, Hill is still up. He breaks a few times. Oh, no, that's Boyson. Apologies. So Boyson doing what he can do well and make a big play there. He really just was about to be wrapped up in the I'm sorry, that is Aaron Bolton, not Boyson. Aaron Bolton on the play. He bolted across the field like a lightning bolt, so quick and fast, but it looked like he was wrapped up in the backfield and just busted out for a big gain here. And now the ball is at the 47-yard line for Stony Point.
Bolton's one of the numerous backs who've shown a lot of excitement for the Tigers this year.
And nothing doing there. Wow.
No.
Right in the backfield. That was a quick play, and you credit that play to, Logan Kalbund, who's been around the ball a lot today. That senior linebacker, he showed pressure immediately and really stuffed that one from the beginning, allowed his fellow teammates to make the big play. But now we are seeing a second and about 15. So now about playing a little bit behind the sticks. Let's see if they stick to the run game here, if maybe they open up to try to get some of that, yardage loss back. So
quarterback
Green,
draw.
Takes the ball. Ooh, he got popped right there. That was another big hit. That again, number 18, who Logan Kalbund all over the field. But Aiden Green in on that play. Remember, whenever he comes in, watch him for run the football because he is the power back of this offense. All these other running backs that Stony Point has are speed guy. He's very, kind of quick. But he kind of brings another element of that power and that punch to the offense, which, is always good to have diversity.
Definitely have to count for the quarterback in the run game when he's in there.
So Twins formation here. Bolton to the left. And Kenneth Callbut drops back to pass. Throws a deep ball to Rhymes, who gets tripped up. No penalty call there. Number 23 in coverage does a good job. That is Davion Crank. So he's the one who almost had that interception earlier and showing really good coverage there. Definitely one of their top defenders at this point. But it brings up in a sticky situation here. 4th down, kind of in no man's land. You could punt it. That might be a good decision. You can't kick the field goal maybe too much far. So, defense is playing well. Might as well trust him here and go for it. And trying to get people off the field here so they can snap the ball. Have 11 seconds to do so. The Raiders showing blitz here. And we might just be trying to draw them off sides. And that's exactly what they're doing. They'll take a timeout here. So Stony Point takes a quick timeout. We're going to take a brief break as well, just to bring you a little bit word from our sponsors. But we'll be right back.
If you're looking for a special medical spa to bring out the beauty that's in you, come visit us at Ginger Allure Med Spa. At Ginger Allure, we treat our staff and patients like family. We're here to embrace, enhance, and showcase your natural beauty with a full range of services such as injectables, laser treatments, permanent makeup, microblading, and more. We provide free consultations for all of our services to answer any of your questions. Visit us online at gingerallure.com or give us a call at 512-709-0161. Ginger Allure Med Spa, the classic approach to a new you.
So looping us back in here to get some off, Coach, we just talked about it. If they wanted to punt the ball away, maybe they would have let the ball, take the penalty, get a little bit of extra space to kind of feel good about your punter, in case he just boots it out the back of the end zone. But obviously taking the timeout and coming out here with the offensive unit. So trusting their offense here is Stony Point. Kenneth Callbus. It's an interesting formation here. And he does look like he might boot this one away as he takes a step back. Yep. And he just boots it up. Nice little quick kick. Just inside the 20-yard line towards the 16. 17-yard line is where the Raiders will take over. So a disappointing drive for Stony Point as it kind of fizzles out there. Had some potential. But for the Raiders defense, that's something that they were looking to definitely capitalize on. And I know they're happy to get off the field without any points.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Stony Point defense is happy that they got a little breather right there. It was more than 3 and out, so they got a little bit of a reprieve and got a shot of water, caught their breath, and time to go again.
Yeah, exactly, Coach, with about 6 minutes and 20 seconds left. So we've seen some, good play from both sides of the ball. A very evenly matched game up to this point. But we'll see as the Raiders come out with Pippen in the backfield. He hands the ball off, and that's to Hamilton, who has a lane. Almost broke that one for a big, big gain. But Hamilton gets touched out of bounds by Hee-Sung Yang, who just, saved a touchdown. Coach, he almost broke that one.
Yeah, that was close to going to the house right there.
Something that this Cedar Ridge team desperately needed. It's not really a big explosive play for them so far.
They like being in that Twins open 2-back set.
Absolutely. Something that I'm sure you're used to, Coach Colin, back in the day. But we do have a second down. It does that nice long run, brings it to a second and about 2 yards to go. So trying to play ahead of those sticks. Pippen is calling for the snap, hands off, and around the corner goes Johnson, and he gets taken down to the 38-yard line, but dropped down by Isaiah Cantrell, but not before getting the first down and really making a really nice run of it. So both running backs taking the ball outside and doing something with it to get a first down. Maybe running the middle is not what they're looking for here, but obviously some of these outside runs are, less clogged in the middle, a little bit more space on the outside. But you got to, as an offense, you got to close the edges and make sure you block because, when you're taking the chance to, widen your run and keep it moving to the sideline, more people can get to you and you could get a tackle for a loss. So it's important to close off that edge as a lineman and running backs and whoever's blocking out there. But Pippen back to pass has a man open but just misses him. And that would have been a great pass if he would have fitted in there, but just a little bit too short and inside there because the coverage was on top of him, but he had a step. So if it would have been a better pass, could have been something big, but falls to the ground. Both these quarterbacks, though, Coach, have shown that they can rip it. I mean, both of them throwing some deep passes, completions for both of these guys up to this point. But it's been the run game that's kind of been working for both of these squads most of the time here. Tight formation bit here. Pippen sends a man in motion, and a quick screen out to the sophomore receiver who gets up the field for about 5 yards there. So, again, they're getting him some action. That's Jake McGill, the sophomore. Not too many sophomores on the Cedar Ridge team, but, he's making an impact there. Whereas on the other side of the ball, a lot of sophomores are being called to the bell a lot more. So I'm sure they will be facing each other for a long time to come. But it is a third down situation now, so third and about 5 to go. The line to gain is the 50-yard line, in the middle of the field. We'll see what they call here and if it's fourth down territory for them as well.
I would guess it would have to do with how much yardage they get on third down, whether or not they go for it on fourth.
So back to pass, met with pressure immediately, but Pippen takes off and run and jukes a man.
That is a nice run right there, young man. That was a good job by him.
He does a great job to not only get the first down, but avoid a tackle, avoid a big hit, because if he would have made contact there, that would have been, a big knock on to Pippen. But he does a good job getting around him, and then a good tackle there by, I believe that was Bello for the Stony Point Tigers. All to say is getting that first down. Don't have to think about a fourth down situation yet.
Seems like all their success on this drive has been out of that Twins open two-back look.
And so, again, drops back to pass, finds a man open, and that is number 81, Junior Gentry, the big wide receiver out there. He's definitely one of the bigger guys on the team, and you can see that he wants to be calling for the ball a lot, but gets 7 yards on the play there. And Cedar Ridge is now working a little bit against the clock here as they only have about 3 minutes to get in, and they've been taking a slower pace this whole game. So may have to speed it up here, but second down and about 4 to go.
I like watching that matchup up top, 81 and 3 go at it.
Absolutely. Werner, one of the best corners in the district. And handoff down to Johnson, who gets good movement. Again, another first down here. So the Stony Point defense is being asked to do a lot with a lot of time possession on the other side of the field. So they're going to have to answer the bell all night tonight. And it's not a big play here. These are very small chunk plays, so it wears and tears at a defense.
3 yards in a cloud of dust. This is a different way to go about it, but it's the same concept that they're getting right now.
And so first down at the 34-yard line here. Pippen sends a man in motion and hands off again to Johnson, who breaks free a little bit here and gets downed by a few tacklers from Stony Point. That was Werner in on the action. And it is enough for a first down here. So 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. I'm sure they're trying not to give Stony Point any time left with the ball here if they can score, because you know how quickly the Stony Point offense can strike. It's not happened just once this game, but multiple times in the year we've seen a big play occur.
And it's multiple guys that can do it.
Mm-hmm. We have trips to the bottom of the screen, tight formation. Another handoff here to Johnson, who gets hit hard, tripped up by Werner, and then taken down. I believe that's number 28 for Stony Point, or 26. That is Joaquin Mendez, the sophomore. So he's been out there and calling to the bell quite a bit because Hunter Alvarado of course, has that broken hand right now. So he's definitely filling in as well as he can. But it brings it to a second down and about 6 situation here for the Raiders. again, a tight formation here towards the bottom with the trips formation, and plenty of time here in the backfield for the quarterback. He takes off and runs and gets almost, it might be enough for a first down.
Looks like he got it, Zach.
Yep, it is. They're signaling for it. So first down here, good scamper there, and now there's about, a minute 43 left in this game, or less in this half, for the Cedar Ridge Raiders to, one, get in the end zone, and if there's any
Zach,
time left.
This is a huge drive. It'd be great for each team to either get a stop here and keep the momentum on your side, or score right before the half and get some momentum going into the half.
Not to mention Cedar Ridge, they deferred, so they will be getting the ball at half. And ball's on the ground, and firing in there like a rocket is Chime Onyaka for his second sack of the night, and I know that's got to hurt for Pippin, who's looks a little bit shaken up after taking 2 shots back-to-back on each play. But really seeing a good defensive front for Stony Point up to this point. And, getting the sack there is huge, because now instead of, first down from the 8-yard line, you're sitting at the 18-yard line now with the second down. So 54 seconds, continue to tick off the clock. Cedar Ridge got to score at some point. And rolling out to the right, Pippin throws it almost, and that was the sophomore. Almost had it in his hands, just barely going out the reach of McGill.
He had him right there.
He did have him in the end zone, and the coverage trailing was Garcia on the play. So, the sophomore being called upon, targeted almost 8 times so far in this game, really showing that he can play with the best of them. But it does, unfortunately, bring up a third down here for Cedar Ridge. And for Stony Point, you got to be excited about this opportunity to maybe just hold them to a field goal attempt. But still, 44 seconds left in this half, and Cedar Ridge is not just quitting yet. And Pippin takes off, has some room to work, and gets pummeled, but gets down to about the 4-yard line. So Caden Cook makes the play, but now decision time here if you're Cedar Ridge. 25 seconds is ticking off the clock here, so we might wow. They're letting a lot of time tick off here. We might just see a field goal towards the end of it, just to kind of send us to the
they're going to wait and call a timeout and either go for kick it up and through, or make sure they have the perfect play they want called right now.
Yep, and that's what we'll see. So we'll take, again, a short break here and just bring you a little bit of our commercials.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only card club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay. In Round Rock, just off exit 251 on I-35, the Lodge now boasts the largest card room in Texas with 82 tables, comfortable chairs, and 40 75-inch TVs. The Lodge provides fully trained dealers and on-site security with state-of-the-art camera system to ensure the comfort and safety of our members. Open 24 hours a day. More information at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045.
Visit Maze Street Boutique in Round Rock for all your shopping needs. Whether you're looking for a special gift or that perfect outfit that everyone will love, we have you covered. Come visit us in-store or shop us online at mazestreet.com. We appreciate your business and thank you for shopping local.
Okay, it is 4th down. The offense is on the field, so gutsy play call here for Cedar Ridge. All the marbles. Clock is ticking down, and they do not get it. The stop is made by the defense, and that was number 50. Again, Jordan Garcia, who's been up on the line all year, and I know Stony Point has got to feel satisfied about that one, Coach, getting the stop on the 4th down attempt to get the touchdown. And the Raiders, obviously, have another chance, coming out of halftime to kind of, reassert themselves, get themselves back in the game. But, gosh, they would have loved to have a score right there, tie it up, or at least go up in this, going into halftime. And then you get the ball back, potentially another chance to get 2 scores real quick back-to-back. But it didn't happen.
That's exactly what I was talking about right before the half. One of these two teams is going to get a shot of momentum. They get a stop.
Right.
Man, those kids feel great about themselves right now. Defensively, offensively, they've done just enough. Defensively, got the big stop right there. Had Cedar Ridge scored right there, on the other hand, they would have been down on themselves. Cedar Ridge would have taken the lead, either 13 or 14, probably 14-12 going into half. Now they are fired up because although they didn't move the ball as much as they would have wanted, they've probably had more steady offense than Stony Point tonight.
I would agree.
Say?
I would absolutely agree. I mean, we kind of talked about it briefly on that last drive, and just the dink and dunk approach essentially that Cedar Ridge is kind of coming with. I mean, they did have a few long gains in the run, and that's something that we didn't see at the beginning of the game. On that first drive, it looked like they weren't going to be able to run the ball at all at game, but that obviously has changed a little bit. But just the differences in offense. You know, Stony Point is a big chunk play team, and on the opposite side, Cedar Ridge is showing us that they like to go after, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, just wear down that defense. And I'm sure if we could see time of possession stats, it'd be way in the favor of Cedar Ridge versus Stony Point at this time.
I would agree to that completely. Now, as far as the second half goes,
yeah, the second half will be definitely a good one, but I'll let you finish that, Coach.
Yeah, as far as the second half goes, when they come out, they're both thinking, you know what, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Cedar Ridge just needs to make sure they finish drives. When they get down to the 2-yard line, they need to get 6 points. Mm-hmm. They don't need to kick field goals, although 3 would have been better than none right there. But you assume you can go get 3 yards down on the goal line right before the half. So, and they're trying to make a statement to their kids as well.
Right.
Hey, let's go win this.
Yeah.
We trust you guys. We know you can get 3 yards when we need it. Let's go.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about this in a second, a little bit more of the recap, but we are going to bring you a few commercials, come back to film a little bit of the halftime show. We'll talk a little bit more about what we're seeing, what we're hoping to see in the second half, a little bit of what each team needs to kind of lean in on, what they need to do better, and also check in on some scores from around the district as well as the area. So we're going to take a quick break again, bring you some more words from our sponsors real quick, but happy to have you here. Again, this is Round Rock ISD Football presented by Covert Ford, and I'm going to send us to commercials real quick. Thank you for listening so far.
RJAC Pressure Washing, Epoxy and Stain, veteran owned and operated, serving Central Texas for the last 10 years. Residential and commercial services available, here for all your decorative flooring needs. Call us at 512-593-8567. That's 512-593-8567.
Are you looking for a little something extra to get your business noticed? At Ideal Signs, they specialize in custom signage and large format digital printing in a variety of media. Their in-house design department can work with you to create custom artwork to your specifications. They'll work with you to conceptualize, design, and produce any custom projects or idea that you might have. Call 512-930-7446 or visit signsforsports.com. Ideal Signs, family owned and operated since 1969.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs, with stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and our newest store serving Pflugerville and Hutto. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken, proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. The Texas standard. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good.
If you're looking for a special medical spa to bring out the beauty that's in you, come visit us at Ginger Allure Med Spa. At Ginger Allure, we treat our staff and patients like family. We're here to embrace, enhance, and showcase your natural beauty with a full range of services such as injectables, laser treatments, permanent makeup, microblading, and more. We provide free consultations for all of our services to answer any of your questions. Visit us online at gingerallure.com or give us a call at 512-709-0161. Ginger Allure Med Spa, the classic approach to a new you.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only card club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay. In Round Rock, just off exit 251 on I-35, the Lodge now boasts the largest card room in Texas with 82 tables, comfortable chairs, and 40 75-inch TVs. The Lodge provides fully trained dealers and on-site security with state-of-the-art camera system to ensure the comfort and safety of our members. Open 24 hours a day. More information at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045.
Visit Maze Street Boutique in Round Rock for all your shopping needs. Whether you're looking for a special gift or that perfect outfit that everyone will love, we have you covered. Come visit us in-store or shop us online at mazestreet.com. We appreciate your business and thank you for shopping local.
So welcome y'all again. We'd love to always bring the other side of the game, the entertainment side. This is something that the high school kids put a lot of effort in, and Cedar Ridge is out there right now performing their performance for the halftime that they've been practicing. So we're going to leave it to the screen for a little bit, but we'll be back with about 10 minutes to go in the half. So we'll leave it on for about 10 minutes. You guys can please enjoy both sides of the ball, both sides of the schools. Very well hard-worked bands, but we'll be right back after that. So we'll see you in a bit.
You are listening to the Horn Webcast Network, powered by iHSFAN. If you're interested in advertising on or privately supporting this webcast, please reach out to us on Twitter at iHSFAN. All audio rights of this webcast presentation belong to iHSFAN, and any intent to rebroadcast or retransmit must have express written consent from iHSFAN.
So welcoming you guys back to a really fun moment down on the field. We have the Stony Point Tigers dance crew, the dance team out with their fathers. Really special moment, I'm sure, for both of them as, these dads showing us what they got. And moms as well. It looks like there's a few of them. So all the parents out there as well, but showing us that they can do the splits. Oh, my goodness, Coach.
Wow. Oh.
I know that might hurt tomorrow for a few of those people down there.
Yeah. Chris, I'm glad you weren't in drill team.
Coming back to everything, back to football at least, looking at the district, Coach, we've just got a few score updates here, so we'll go ahead and read them out to you. A couple big games here. Obviously, last night we had the game between Westwood and Vista Ridge, which actually was a very close game, ended up being 26-21. Vista Ridge going to 5-1, and Westwood dropping to 4-2 there, as we kind of mentioned prior to this, the getting on to the broadcast. But obviously, our game score here is 7-12. Stony Point is up on Cedar Ridge. And other games around district, Vandergrift is leading McNeil 28-3 out there. It is halftime out in Dragon Stadium, and Round Rock is in Manor, winning 21-7 there. So some good scores from around the district, and it kind of just shows that where this kind of district is shaping up. Round Rock looks to potentially move on, get another win, moving to 3-0 in the district. Vandergrift moving to 3-0 as well if they get the win. But that really means McNeil, Manor, as well as Westwood and Cedar Ridge and Stony Point are all at chance to go 1-2 for this game. Westwood is already 1-2, but Stony Point, Cedar Ridge obviously 0-2 here, and McNeil, Manor 1-1 in district each. So there's going to be a couple schools, one 0-3 school, a couple 2-1 schools, and we'll definitely see some 3-0 teams as well with Vista Ridge at 2-1. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, speaking maybe too soon here, as there's halves to play for both sides of the ball there out there. But just given the historical context, Vandergrift looks to probably roll in that game against McNeil. But nonetheless, we are back here in our game, Stony Point versus Cedar Ridge. Thank you for joining us here today, folks. Really happy to have all of you guys watching, and just want to shout out everybody who's a parent, who maybe not be a parent, just interested in these games. We really enjoy having you out here, and hope that you're enjoying the broadcast. But getting back to our game, like I said, and trying to do, we have a 12-7 game, 5-point game here, a chance for Cedar Ridge to go up at half with at least 13-12 points if they get that touchdown there. Didn't happen, but now in halftime, coming out of the half, they're still in the game, and they still have plenty of time to craft a win. I mean, this game is very close, not to mention Cedar Ridge is getting the ball at halftime. But, we kind of talk about a little bit of what happened last half. But, Coach, what are your kind of keys to victory here for both of these squads going into the second half?
I don't think I would change my call on that, Zach. I think it's going to come down to which offensive line from Cedar Ridge shows up in the second half. Is it the offensive line that controlled the rush and got a little bit of push for the running game? Or is it the offensive line that gave up some big plays, some sacks, and didn't let them get to the edge at all?
Right.
I think a lot of it's going to be determined by that.
And that's on both sides of the ball, right, Coach? I mean, these teams are very evenly matched. We're obviously seeing that and the scoreboard, and it's reflected on the field as well. But two different styles. We mentioned Cedar Ridge a little bit more dink and dunk, whereas the Stony Point Tigers a little bit more explosive, but maybe a less steady offense, as we might say. Running into a few stops as well as shooting themselves in the foot here and there. But we do have the next game. For me, Coach, I think what needs to happen for Stony Point to get the win is, one, they need to dominate that line of scrimmage. We've seen a few snaps where the snap has either gone over the head or been a little bit low, just maybe too hot to handle. And that hasn't stopped. We saw a few of them copping back-to-back, and then, once more down where Chime Onyaka was able to get that big sack and ultimately set up the fourth down for Cedar Ridge, which, they didn't get. So huge play, huge implications there. And on the flip side of that, I think the Stony Point offense needs to keep feeding the ball to their running backs that they have been doing well with. I mean, obviously the pass game has opened up a lot, but if you keep running the ball, that pass game is going to continue to open up, especially with the play action going forward. So those are my keys for Stony Point. And I think similarly on Cedar Ridge's side, they really need to kind of finish the drive, right? Coach, like you talked about this, and I think I'm going to steal this from you, is finishing the drive and being able to be that team that goes down the field and scores, because, I'll use the Cowboys, for example. They're a great team, but have not scored in the red zone a lot this year. And, they've been able to win games, but red zone is super crucial where the defense, condenses a bit. It makes it harder. There's less room to work. And so for Cedar Ridge, they need to do a better job of getting in the end zone. I think if they do that, they have a chance to win on offense. And then defensively, they've been doing a really good job, stopping the short stuff, getting off the field very quickly, but they just need to limit the big play and get a turnover. We saw a few plays where the Raiders had a chance to, change the outcome, change the flow of the game, a little bit of emotions here and there, but, did not go that way for them. So now going into halftime, I think both these teams are, adjusted, thinking the same thing. We're kind of thinking they need to do better, but, it's a new half, so we'll definitely see what they have in store. About 3 minutes to go here before we get kicked off again. And like we said, Stony Point will be kicking the ball off to Cedar Ridge, and Cedar Ridge looks like they're about to take the field once Stony Point's band finalizes their performance. But, I really think that going forward, like I said, running the ball is going to be crucial for both of these teams, because we've seen, like you said, Coach, that the offensive line for both have shown two sides, two games pretty much where they could do. But not only that, but I'm really impressed with, this number 83 from Cedar Ridge, who they've targeted honed in on Jake McGill.
And he's been open a lot more than he's even caught passes. There have been a couple times where he's running scot-free, and they just haven't gotten him the ball. So, they've if it comes down to big play with receivers, I would give the edge to the Tigers. If it comes down, not that they don't have guys who can make plays, but I think it's been established that Stony Point, a big part of what they want to do is have their guys make big plays on the outside.
Yeah.
And then on the running game, if they can continue to get movement and move the defensive line around, I think they're going to have the advantage in the second half. But if they can't run the football the way they did halfway through the second quarter, they're going to have a hard time.
And I totally agree with you, Coach. And defensively, it seems like, Cedar Ridge is bringing a lot of pressure. And it is a gamble in some senses, especially when you have these big outside threats that, everybody in the district is aware of. Gomez showed his big play ability already. Freeman made a big play. And then also, Rhymes is still there. He hasn't been involved too much tonight, but we know the big play capability is there. So, anyways, back to the point about the blitz is when you usually blitz, you have the outside, or you're relying on your people to play man on the backside, and that's where if you don't get there quick enough, you might get beat.
Then you're in trouble.
Right.
Then you're in trouble getting matched up with an uber-talented receiver who will get behind any high school corner if they're playing one-on-one with no help from a safety.
Absolutely, and I think the shot plays for both of these teams have been there, more or less for Stony Point. And here we are, Cedar Ridge coming out, and I love their mascot. It looks like it's purple smoke. That's so cool looking. Definitely a very cool blow up for them, and must be fun to run out of. But I think, just like going back to it, that is really where we're going to need to see the difference in the clash, and really what's going to give is that defense for Cedar Ridge versus the Stony Point big play ability. But We have about 2 seconds till we get kicked off here for the second half. And again, it is 12-7. Really hoping to see some more fireworks from each of these teams. Struggled to score in the past 2 weeks. As we said early in the broadcast, Cedar Ridge last 2 games was losses to both Vista Ridge and Westwood. Lost to Vista Ridge by 28-7. Westwood losing by 41-0. So, those 2 teams actually squared off against each other, so they got a good chance of what they looked like last night, with Vista Ridge winning 26-21. And on the flip side, Stony Point, again, shares the same struggles in the last 2 games, but it's already kind of gotten out of that funk with 2 scores here tonight. Only 1 score in the past 2 weeks versus Vandegrift and Round Rock. Both of those games dropping losses. Round Rock 28-0 and 7-48 versus Vandegrift. But I think both these teams definitely are showing a lot more offensive promise than what they've seen in the past 2 weeks, and that's got to feel good for both these players, but also the coaching staff.
Well, Zach, also if you really want to just look at it, we're getting ready to start the second half. What it comes down to is one of these 2 teams is going to be right in the middle of the hunt for a playoff spot after this game.
Right.
And one of these teams is going to have to claw back and do some pretty improbable things to get into the playoffs. So it's super big second half here. Can't wait to see it.
Coach, I think you set the stage perfectly. I mean, we've talked all year, and this is our second district game that we get to bring this year for the iHSFAN and Round Rock football. But realistically, it is, like I said earlier, a couple of these teams. There's 4 teams here today that could go 1-2. And there's already Westwood that's 1-2 in district. And then those top spots are filling up quickly as Vandegrift and Round Rock are looking to go 3-0. So that means, tightening up the last 2 spots, given that Round Rock and Vandegrift, don't drop off many games. But, they're already so close to getting there, achieving their goal of playoffs with only 4 games left in the district schedule. So, like you said, it's going to be a fight for those last 2 spots, and a lot of teams are right around the same area right now. Obviously, these 2 teams 0-2, so looking to not go 0-3, like you said, Coach. But I think we are getting set here to go live with the kickoff and back to return for Cedar Ridge. We, again, have Ray back there, who has returned the ball really well and has done a lot of speed work. But Lopez kicks the ball off for Stony Point, and we are back here. Football is on, and that ball will jump out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Third quarter here, 12 minutes to go, and we are just now starting the second half for Stony Point.
Okay.
And, Stony Point's front line has played really well all year. Iverson Collins, Tristan Butler, Chimeo Onyaka, and Jordan Garcia. It's really been a good front all year. Past 2 games, a little bit differently, but I think that's something that both these teams might have to go against later in the future, as Cedar Ridge hasn't played Round Rock or Vandegrift yet. So, Coach, you talked about this being their favorite formation. It is a twins open right, and handoff up the middle, stopped by Chimeo Onyaka for Stony Point, and that ball is run up by Malik Hamilton, who has done a good job toting the ball so far.
Nothing doing right there.
And that's, kind of how the first drive started for this team, but we can't really say that for the rest of the drives. I mean, they looked good being able to drive the ball down the field, but now a big part of that was staying ahead of yourself in the sticks. It's 2nd and 10. So motion there. Fake handoff on the jet sweep, and quarterback Pippin runs hard. He takes the ball up to about the 11-yard line. And I apologize, that is not Pippin. That is number 11, Jakari Killingsworth. So Killingsworth taking in and maybe taking over for the night, as haven't seen Pippin at quarterback yet. So, again, maybe quarterback change. Not sure if Pippin is injured. Hope he's okay if that's the case. But get to see a new quarterback in, the senior here for the Cedar Ridge Raiders. And Ramsey goes in motion, and Killingsworth looks to throw a deep ball, and goes into the hands of the coaching staff of Stony Point. So brings up a 4th down, and now Stony Point will get a chance to get the ball and hopefully hold the ball for some time of possession. I know that was a big thing we talked about earlier, and something that Vandergrift was able to do really well against Stony Point is hold the ball on the offensive side and keep the defense out there, tire them out, and then get stops on defense, repeating the process. Hopefully Stony Point and Cedar Ridge are hoping to do that for both their sides. And Cedar Ridge has a quick 3-and-out here, but here comes the snap. And punt is away. It is a short punt, not going to go past, and it goes. Oh, it's just touched by Heeson Yang, who was trying to get away from it, but the ball was a magnet and just hit him on it, and he was lucky enough to able to just fall on it and not avoid a tragedy there, giving the ball up on a good field position. But, Coach.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to do the right thing to get away with it, but when you do that, you don't turn your back on the ball to get away from it. You open up to it and backpedal away and make sure you don't. That way you can dodge it at the last second if you need to.
Or at least see where the ball is, because
Exactly.
that could have been a big play there. But it is first down at the 49-yard line of Cedar Ridge for Stony Point. So they got to be feeling good about this field position here. Snap by Calbus. He's looking deep, has pressure. It's taken down, but that is going to be a face mask, as you can see all 3 refs around the area throwing flags in there. So clear as day for us as well up here. That will be a 15-yard penalty. Can't grab the face mask there.
That's the old head jerker right there, Zach.
Not very safe. And, you look at some old film from the NFL when face masks used to be legal, and it is just violent football. Just glad that is a rule now in place for the safety of all these players. But 15-yard penalty moves the ball up quite significantly here down to the 36-yard line, 35-yard line for Stony Point. And we do have trips to the bottom of the screen here for y'all, and a tight formation towards the top. I apologize. That is going to be a twins formation here. Tighter towards the top of the screen. And blitz coming here for the Raiders. And good ball thrown out there to Freeman. He's been involved quite a bit tonight, and that is a first down. Again, outside, deep outside out route, Coach. That is one of the hardest throws that a quarterback can make, especially across the field. Got to have some mustard on that ball, or else it's going to get picked off.
Yeah, that's a big boy throw right there, Zach. That's asking a kid to do something that every kid out there can't do.
It's so true. I mean, you don't realize it, but that ball, if it's lopped out there, that's going to be a pick any day. But good job there, quarterback and receiver connecting on that one. Kennick drops back for a 3rd straight pass and has some time, but rolls out, continues to roll out. Has a man in the end zone, just trips up, and that could have been another score for the Tigers as Kennick rolled out, but just the receiver kind of tripped up over his own feet. Maybe could have made the play, but again, falls incomplete. And the Cedar Ridge Raiders, I'm sure, are excited about that not being a touchdown and getting a 2nd and 10 here.
Yeah, Kennick's going to want that one back. He had a chance to set his feet. Didn't have any pressure in his face. Even after he got off his original mark, he was able to set his feet and let it rip and just didn't put it on target.
A few times he set his feet. He looked like he was kind of setting up a 1, 2, 3. Had plenty of time to do so, so might as well. Handoff here. First handoff in a minute for the Tigers, but flag on the play. May have an illegal motion as Freeman looked like he may have turned upfield a bit early.
That's what it looked like from up here.
And that's, it's a smart play. It's, timing the count a little bit, but also you just have to be ready on that to make sure that you stay parallel, because if you move upfield too quickly, then they're going to get you on the penalty there. So good call, I think, by the refs on that play, but it will push the Tigers back about 5 yards here to make it 2nd and 15. So
yeah, the white hat just pointed the wrong way, but that's what it was, illegal motion.
So Stony Point drops back to pass. plenty of time here. A good ball over the middle to Werner, who's a defender out there, and he gets the defensive penalty call there. So trying to use a little bit of, some flavor of defense on the offense side of the ball. Werner, who's a great athlete, goes up there for the reception, but gets a good penalty call. So be moving up for a first down.
Okay. They're still pressing down the field.
Yeah, they are, and we'll see when the penalty gets applied. But, a couple penalties here on both sides of the ball is, I'm sure not either of these coaches appreciate that, but at least it's been going both ways and not just one-sided at this point. But it will be enough for a first down. Or actually, Coach, I'm wrong. It's second down and about an inch and a half. Oh,
no, it'll be a first down.
They're moving a first down.
Yes, it'll be a first down.
I was like, they're being too slow from up here. But anyways, handoff here for Hill, and he gets about 2 or 3. So that will be a second down and about 7 to go from looks like the 12-yard line. But again, good tackling by Cedar Ridge there, as they're able to create a short gain only and trying to have their backs against the wall. Again, this is where that red zone defense comes into play. The field gets shorter. It does get harder to score, believe it or not, even though you are closer.
Yeah, it's a weird concept that a lot of people don't quite get. But it is quite often a lot more difficult to score when you get down here.
So timeout here by Coach Cheshire and the Tigers will give us a brief second to bring you some of our sponsors, but we'll be right back in 2 seconds.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
You are listening to Round Rock ISD football, presented by Covert Ford. Now let's head to the field with Zach Epstein.
Hey folks, again, back here, and just to set the stage for you in case you forgot, it is second down and about 8 here for the Tigers as they've been knocking on the door on this long drive. Started off the second half with a stop on defense, a 3 and out. So for the past 4 minutes, this team has been driving the ball down the field. Jet sweep here. Aiden Green takes it himself, but gets stopped up by a gang of tacklers. And for Cedar Ridge, that is number 25 making the play out there. That is Omar Long doing a good job there, the senior, stepping up and making a big play from the defensive back position. But it does push back Stony Point to the third down and about 10 situation. So, again, Stony Point needs to get the ball in the end zone here, but a first down would be enough as the first down sits at about the 4-yard line.
It'd be nice if Stony Point could punch it in right here, but it's even more important that there's a stop made.
And it looks like, and Coach, you say stop, but I think they may have just gotten enough for nope, that'll be a fourth down. So a deep out route pass again for Kenneth Calabas. He connects with Gomez, and we see Aiden Green come in for Kenneth Calabas here. So I think we'll be going for it here, Coach, with the power back in the formation. But all they need is 1 yard, and we're going to see a timeout from Cedar Ridge as they try to look for a better formation. Obviously didn't like what they saw out there. So 7 minutes and 5 seconds into 7 minutes 5 seconds left in the second half.
Okay, Zach, when are they going to put Green in and do a little fake and let him throw the ball?
Yeah, we haven't seen it all year.
Because we've talked about that ever since the first game that we've seen him go in, and every time he's in there, they run the ball, whether he gives it or pulls it, or they just do quote-unquote wildcat stuff where they snap it to him and he takes off. They've got to have something for him to do something else, because sooner or later it's going to bite him in the rear if they don't have something for him to do to get those guys off of him.
Exactly, and Coach, that would be a great time to pull that out, but we'll see if that happens here. As Aiden Green is back in there. He's usually toting the rock when he's in, so takes the ball, and it does not look like he's going to get it at all. So a huge stop for Cedar Ridge. They get a really big stop there, and in on that play again, linebacker number 18 Logan Kalbundi. He's really been answering the bell all night tonight, but. Then again,
he's been a handful.
Yeah. Then again, you think about field position, and it's not the best field position you want to be starting in for your offense. But obviously, no points is really what you needed, and now it's 12-7. So, that drive was a long drive, dominating drive, but they didn't get any points. So
I never mind starting back here. I just don't want to start with kickoff return.
Yeah, exactly.
And here we go.
Yeah, so
it's a big drive for the Raiders.
And so Raiders backup quarterback in there again. And snap goes over his head, and it goes back through the end zone, and we do have a safety. And that is, Coach, I talked about it right before half started. The snaps need to be there, and obviously they're not. So quick change of pace. And, I mean, even though you like starting the ball, without points, you hate to give it up right there. And now it's a 14-7 game, Coach, with Stony Point getting the ball back.
Yeah, that's a change of events that we weren't expecting up here, and the quarterback probably just feels horrible letting the ball go between his hands like that, but that happens, and they're going to need to punt it away and get a stop, and now it's still a one-score game. It's definitely something that they're okay with as far as the situation, as far as the game and the score. But, boy, a nice long drive would have been real handy if you were for the purple and white right now.
And just to kind of go on top of that, Coach, is a little bit tougher because now you have to kick the ball off, but you have to send your defense back out onto the field, and they just were out there for a long drive.
Yeah, that was
and they got off the field with some excitement, change of tide, and now they said, nope, sorry, got to get back on the field and go again.
Got to be tough on them. Got to be.
And on the other side, Stony Point's looking to capitalize, hoping to get another long drive, keeping that defense out there. But punting from the 20-yard line, so a pretty nice punt, going to the 35 of Stony Point, and Wheeler has some room to work. He's moving down the field and gets dragged down by the quarterback Stony Point, of Cedar Ridge, who just gets him out of bounds there. But Wheeler, who hadn't really returned the ball too much besides that first game against Austin High, it's really been going to Werner. He gets a great return right there, showing the wheels.
Yeah, that. Once he got room, you could tell it was going to be great field position for the Tigers. And that was a great effort by the number 11, the quarterback, to come all the way and not give up and make sure they have to drive 32 yards instead of running it back all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Cedar Ridge here, you're hoping for a turnover in any way or form, but flag on the play. Looks like signal might be false start here. So, yes, it is. We will back up the offense just a little bit. About 5 yards here. But we are really seeing a great game here. I mean, Coach, it's been very interesting back and forth all night tonight. Would love to hear good news about Cedar Ridge's quarterback. Hope he's all good. Obviously, never like to see any injuries or anything like that happen. Don't really know what happened from up here in the booth. But we do have twins right pistol formation. Kenneth Calvas fakes the handoff, drops back to pass, and just throws it up and almost picked off. He just threw it in the air, hoping that it would just harmlessly fall to the ground.
And that could have been really, really a negative play.
And guess who was right there, Coach, who almost made the interception? Logan Blundy, again, ranging over, and he's just been all over the field tonight, Coach. And really just Kenneth Kalbas didn't want to take the sack there. Almost got away, but,
just has to be a little more aware.
Right.
Just has to be a little more aware. That's something he'll grow into, and he'll know, you know what, in this situation, sometimes you just have to eat it and go to the next play.
Exactly, or throw it away sooner because, ultimately you don't want to make a small mistake like that. And, wow, what a great pass and connection right there. Kenneth Kalbas getting met with pressure by number 87 on the field there. Number 97, Jonah Collis, who coming off the edge fast and hard, but completes it to Rhymes, who has his hands outstretched and just hits him in stride. So
that was a
great throw and
ball.
catch.
Beautiful ball with a rusher right in his face.
And that's a grown-up throw. You're going to take a hit, but you got to get it out anyways. And it takes him from a 3rd down and long to a 1st down and 10 situation inside the red zone. So handoff here again. That goes to Bolton. And Bolton doing some moves. He gets inside, and he does score. He takes it down, and he scores on the first touch he sees in the second half. And that puts the score at 20-7 Stony Point. So what a swing here, Coach, in terms of points for Stony Point. Getting stopped on the 4-yard line last drive, then getting the safety going over the back of the quarterback's head, and now punching in a touchdown. If you're Cedar Ridge, you have to respond on this drive.
Yeah, it's non-negotiable now, Zach. They've got to come up with something offensively.
And a good attempt there to block the kick, but ultimately goes right through the uprights to make it 21-7 here, guys. So, again, we're going to take a very brief break, and we'll be right back.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs, with stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and our newest store serving Pflugerville and Hutto. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken, proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. The Texas standard. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good.
Coach, we are back here and loving this high school football here tonight, and both these teams fighting to get out of the last spot of district race right now. Obviously, it's super early in district, only 2 games down, but this is the 3rd game. There's only 7 games you get to play, so definitely must win for both of these squads. And the ball on the kickoff gets picked up around the 12-yard line and is run back by number 22 right there, and that is Quincy Coulter, the senior running back. He does a good job bringing that out to about the 30-yard line. So that is where Cedar Ridge will set up shop, getting started, and not much success. Only 4 plays for this Cedar Ridge offense thus far on this side of the half. Definitely hoping to kind of swing things in the right direction. And we do have some flags on the field coming back from the kicking side, so we may have a re-kick or something of that regard, but we'll get the call here in a second. So here in the PA, it is going to be 5 yards added on to the end of return, bringing the ball to the 35-yard line instead of the 30 for Cedar Ridge to start off their drive. And we will get the signal to start here. So tight formation to the bottom of your screen with the trips. Handoff here. And that's the Johnson, who's been doing a good job toting the ball. He gets about 4 there on the play. And Johnson and Hamilton have been, the two-headed back attack tonight for them, as well as their quarterback Pippin, who, like we said, has not made a return to the field tonight. Hope he's all good and everything like that. So really excited to bring you some more football. But Cedar Ridge is getting to the second down marker. It is 2nd down and about 6 here for Cedar Ridge. And Cedar Ridge takes a snap, handoff to Ramsey, who takes it out on the outside, scampers, and gets driven down. I believe that's Lucas Garcia on the tackle, so he does a good job making the play there and forcing him out of bounds, but unfortunately not enough for – it was unfortunate for Stony Point because that was just enough for the first down for the Raiders. So the Raiders getting a little bit moving here, cooking with a little bit of fire. That's their first down of the half, and I know that their offense, especially their quarterback, is happy to see that. So 4 minutes and about 50 seconds left in this third quarter action, and we have down to the bottom of your screen Shane Werner dropping back into coverage, and Johnson again does a good job getting the ball out to about the 49-yard line, flipping the field, so now they are in Stony Point territory. So looking at second down and 7, and Coach, I think you have an update for us, right?
Yeah, I heard from some of the coaches that Pippen is hurt, and they're hoping he'll be okay, but he didn't want to share any details.
And that's perfectly fine, but hope he's okay. And Killingsworth takes the ball, a good runner himself, and getting a good amount of running yards right there. The senior taking it up to, I believe that's the 44-yard line, so that's close to a first down situation, but it will be a third down and about 2 for the Raiders. So good.
Should be good for his confidence, getting a little something going right there.
Absolutely.
Carrying the ball himself.
Love to see a first down, too, as the first drive didn't get one. So Ramsey in motion here, number 4. Killingsworth hands off, and met in the backfield Johnson is by Chimeo and Yaka, and that is going to be a ball returned to the line of scrimmage, making it 4th down and 2. So decision time here. I think we might see a punt, given that it's pretty early, but at this point in the game, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. We're going to the fourth quarter. This is a must-win game for both these squads, Coach. So maybe this time we'll punt it away, but next time maybe think a bit harder on it.
Yeah, with this much time left in the game, I would definitely say that this is the sound thing to do. Obviously, you go for it and get it. You still have 40 yards to go.
And they do a fake, and they try to fake it, the up snap, and they did not get it. And right back to the line of Coach, we just talked about it, going for it, but they sound decision to kick it away, but yet come up empty-handed, and it'll be first down Stony Point.
Well, it's not like their other situation on 4th down or right before the half. It's not like their conventional offense was able to get it and to where it makes that a what do you think you're doing? No, that's what they wanted to do, and that they knew they were going to go for it, and that's what they thought was the best, and it just didn't work out for them.
And now Stony Point will take the ball over, sending the man in motion as Calbus, and hands the ball off to Bolton, who gets a couple blocks and almost makes his way out there to the 50-yard line, but he tripped up again, and Logan Blundy is in there again. So he called his name a bit too many times tonight. I feel like he's been in every single tackle, just really showing how great his range is out there from that left linebacker position. And we are seeing a pistol formation here, offset pistol to the left with Ace on the top. And Kenneth Calbus hands it off. Ball gets to the 49-yard line on the opposite side. So in Raider territory, the Tigers are hoping to get a first down here, but also hoping to give their defense a little bit of a breather. And I know Cedar Ridge is itching to get off the field and trying to get their offense, who is showing some promise there, the ball back.
Yeah, they've definitely got to get a stop and not let it take out too much more time.
Coming off the edge is Logan Blundy, and he gets pushed down to the ground but makes the sack. And that was a design QB keeper there, maybe read option, but Logan Blundy coming off the edge hard and fast and just gets there quick enough.
Yeah, I think that that didn't look like a read option play to me. It may have been a bootleg where he tried to boot out of there, either a naked bootleg or a bootleg where it's a run-pass option. But I don't know too many where you turn your back.
And succeed on that. So anyways, we'll see a punt here from Stony Point, and that ball is almost blocked, but a deep kick here, and ball is fumbled, but he falls on it for Cedar Ridge, so could have been a disastrous play there, but Ramsey looks like he just falls on that one and able to catch on it, but it will set up a first down for the Raiders, so a couple stops here by each defense back to back.
Instead of being helpful to get something going, it's almost imperative. It's almost non-negotiable. This drive, they've got to make something happen, go down there and get a score.
Yeah,
Punch it in the end zone. Doesn't matter if it's a one play right here, go to the house, or march it down the field, take 6 minutes off. But they've got to go get some points on the board right now.
Absolutely here, Coach. And there's Franklin on the carry. Malik takes it up to about the 31-yard line. So, again, about 30 seconds remain in this third quarter before we go to the fourth, which, is really the witching hour at that point. So we'll see what this team has in store, if we'll just take it to the half or take it to the quarter. About 20 seconds left here. No play clock. Trips to the top side of your screen. We have the sophomore receiver down to the bottom, McGill, and we have a handoff up the middle for, again, I believe that is Malik.
And it's enough for a first down to start the fourth quarter.
Yep. And so we'll have the sticks move and the clock tick down once they get set, but we won't have another play here. Yep, that'll be the fourth quarter. So we are going to take a brief break here, folks, and we'll be right back to bring you the end of this game and fourth quarter action.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. covertford.com.
If you're looking for a special medical spa to bring out the beauty that's in you, come visit us at Ginger Allure Med Spa. At Ginger Allure, we treat our staff and patients like family. We're here to embrace, enhance, and showcase your natural beauty with a full range of services such as injectables, laser treatments, permanent makeup, microblading, and more. We provide free consultations for all of our services to answer any of your questions. Visit us online at gingerallure.com or give us a call at 512-709-0161. Ginger Allure Med Spa, the classic approach to a new you.
And welcome back, folks. We are in the fourth quarter now, so 12 minutes left in this game, and we will be seeing the Cedar Ridge Raiders come out in a trips formation, sending Ramsey in motion. Drop back to pass here. A good ball on the outside and broken up. That's, again, McGill targeted on the deep ball there, and
that was a pretty ball.
It was beautiful, and Lucas Garcia in coverage is able to strap him up and cause the second down and 10. But a shot play there by the Raiders looking to catch Stony Point off guard and almost completed it, but just a little bit out of reach. But we were just talking, Coach, this is, we've emphasized it enough. This is imperative that they get some points on this drive. So fake handoff here. Keeper by the quarterback, and Killingsworth has some open field. He is quick. He's taking that all the way down to about the 20-yard line. So backup quarterback Killingsworth takes it down the field, and some life from these Cedar Ridge Raiders late in this game.
That was a great job of him pulling it and going right inside. Offensive line did a super job right there.
Absolutely, been tough all game. Both of these sides of the fronts, battling, winning some, losing some. Right there, offensive line won. So again, handoff here to Malik, and he gets drilled on the outside there, but gets enough for, I believe, a first down. But
Zach, I think he's going to be a little bit short.
Okay, yeah, you're right. He's
going to be a little bit short, but I thought he got out of bounds. Obviously, he did not.
So, yeah, clock continues to run, not out of bounds and not a first down. It'll be second and about 1 here. Stony Point, again, back against the wall. Have been in this situation before and come out unscathed, but, again, this is the Cedar Ridge team who needs to score. And fake handoff here again. Quarterback Killingsworth up the middle, met by that defensive line.
First and goal.
And that will bring it a first and goal situation. But, again, that is Mendez making the play out there at number 26, filling in for the injured Hunter Alvarado. But we do have a first down, Coach, at the 6-yard line for Cedar Ridge and with 11 minutes in this ball game.
Now you definitely go with what does he do best? What does Killingsworth do best? And I would guess it's, wow, he's going to throw it, and he's wide open and nails him.
Yeah, Coach, just like you said, that is a touchdown.
I would have guaranteed he would be running some option out of 2 backs in the backfield, but the receiver got wide open, and he put it on the money.
Yeah, Reese Brooks comes in for the score, and that was a simple slant route, but touchdown Cedar Ridge. So, Coach, this game keeps getting more and more interesting.
He put it on him.
Absolutely.
He put it right on him.
And he put it on him and just had separation, and that was a clear-as-day touchdown from up here. So, again, Killingsworth stepping in, doing what he needs to do to make this a closer game, and now the Raiders have a chance to make it a one-score ball game, which it hasn't been since it was 12-7 earlier in this half. Went right through the uprights there. So 14-21 here, Coach, with Stony Point taking the ball over, and we might have a flag on the play here. Not sure what the call is, but seeing some conversations with the referees right now. I think it will be good.
Well, we did say they needed to go down right now and score. Well, they went right down and scored. So it's a ball game. It's a horse race, and I realize that there's a full quarter left to go, but right now Cedar Ridge is gaining all the momentum.
Yep, they sure are, and you know how you respond to that if you're Stony Point is you got to drive the ball down the field, and you got to take some time off the clock, more importantly.
Sure.
And make sure that you try to limit these Raiders' possessions on offense because they just went down and scored quickly.
Yeah, the way offenses are nowadays, I don't think they worry too much about taking time off the clock. They just want to go down there and score.
Right.
They go down there and score, they're probably thinking the game's pretty much over if they can do that right now. But like you just said, they scored in a hurry, so they could do it 2 more times for that matter. So we're in the middle of a good one here.
In the middle of a good one for sure, and waiting for the kickoff here. And seeing here what we come out with. In other news, Vandergrift is up 35-3 against McNeil, and Round Rock is up 35-13 against Manor right now. So that is some other scores in the district, shaping up to have 2 3-0 teams. And this game is going to come down to the wire, it seems like. So it'll be interesting how it shapes out. But again, both these teams need to get a win, and it looks like the penalty will be applied on the kickoff, allowing about a 15-yard penalty here. So
well, he's lining up.
Yeah.
For an onside, it looks like.
It looks like it, Coach. I mean, if you get the ball on the onside here, you're in very good field position. So can see why they'd want to, but Cedar Ridge is tricky. They've already run a trick play once. Let's see if they maybe think of something else here. But Hamilton back to kick. And here it is. And he drills it to the back, and that is fallen on, and Stony Point will kick up the ball at their own 30-yard line. So ends up being pretty good field position here, Coach, but Tristan Rhymes was able to get that one in and make sure no one else was around to touch it. So all good there.
They didn't give up any more field position than they would have had they kicked it off.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll start at the 30-yard line with Kenneth Calbus coming out, hoping to get another touchdown here, and that Cedar Ridge defense tightened up a little bit since they let up that other touchdown in the third quarter. But the last couple of drives have looked really solid, especially in that front. But we'll see what happens here with Kenneth taking the ball and handing it off. Not much doing. That is number 97. That is Jonah Collis. So he's been involved quite a bit too. Really manning down that left end side of the ball. So 2nd and 12 here for Stony Point, as they look to at least bring down the clock. It seems like they're taking their time on getting these plays in. 10 minutes left into this fourth quarter, so we're getting down to crunch time here, folks. Motion here. Fake handoff. And Kenneth delivers a strikeout to Rhymes, who had the ball and made the completion, but fumbles the ball. So he called. I'm sorry, I'm just confused. But he caught the ball, got tackled, looked like he was down, but the ball comes out, and Cedar Ridge gets the much-needed turnover they deserve. So Cedar Ridge now gets the ball here on their own side of the field and looks on the opposite side of the field and Stony Point side, and they look to potentially go down and tie this ball game, Coach.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was down to me from up here. Obviously, they see it a lot closer and better than I can.
So, yeah, make the right call, and now giving the Cedar Ridge team the chance they need to potentially take back some momentum and take back this game. Handoff here, and that's to Johnson. Not much doing there. Met by Chime Onyaka and a few other of the Stony Point Tigers, as well as that is Tristan Butler as well. So getting them to a 2nd down and about 9 here for Stony Point, as the Raiders are looking to drive down the field here and get another score, potentially tying this ball game up.
Oh, Uncle Mo, the old momentum of this thing sure has swung in their way, and they've got it going right now.
So motion here, and high snap just gets handled. Freeman coming out the backfield, and what a play there. And that is number 25 on Stony Point, who is Tristan Butler, making that play on the last one, and then also coming over and making a good one as well. Apologies. On the pressure was Joaquin Mendez, the sophomore linebacker who I've been talking about all night. And he made a big play on the quarterback, made him feel uncomfortable, and made a bad pass happen. Creates a 3rd down and 9 situation for Stony Point, which I'm sure they would love to get off the field here.
You can tell the quarterback's a lot more comfortable right now because that snap was a little high and pretty hot. Got on him in a hurry, and
he handled it well.
He handled it like it was no problem at all.
Snap here, look to pass, deep ball, deep, lets it rip, and wow, they're going to get the penalty call here. Werner again, for the 3rd time tonight, has been called on the pass interference here. So obviously attacking him has proved to be a good thing for this team, as they've gotten a few penalty calls, no catches on his side of the ball, but those 3 pass interferences is now going to set up for a 1st down situation, which should have been a 3rd and long, and potentially getting off the field here for Stony Point, but now having to reassess and get back on there with much closer field position for Cedar Ridge.
Yeah, they're riding the momentum. They're making all the plays, and everything's going their way right now. They need to stay with it. I wouldn't even be surprised if they picked up the pace of the offense just to, now that things are going their way, let's get everything we can while we can.
And so that trips bunch formation down to the bottom, handoff to Johnson, and not much doing again. Chimeo Onyaka there on the play. He stumbles towards 2-yard gains there for a 2nd down and 8 situation for Cedar Ridge. And, not much time has drifted off the clock, but that clock still is a factor at the, towards the end of this game. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in this ball game. So we do have that formation that they love, the double back open situation. Handoff here. and outside Johnson goes, and he gets tackled by Mendez once again. So Mendez ranging over and that is about a 4 or 5 yard gain there. So we'll bring up a third down and about 4 situation for the Raiders. And the Raiders really looking good here. Not really a big chunk play just yet, but getting a little bit here and there. Now faced with a third down, and they've gone for it once on fourth down. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again. But jumbo form here, it looks like, with tight wide receiver set towards the top of your screen, single wide receiver at the bottom. And here's the handoff. Fumble! It's fumbled! And that ball was hit by Mendez, and Sawyer picks it up for Stony Point. So flip-flop, both teams catch a break in the form of a turnover. And now Stony Point gets a little bit of help from Uncle Mo, as he said, Coach.
Yeah, just gut-wrenching for that to happen right there for those guys.
Johnson, who had been doing
big-time play for the defense.
Yeah, Johnson, who had been toting the rock all day really well and, taking some tough hits, just gets the ball ripped out. It looked like one of the defensive players for Stony Point just hit the ball with the helmet. That's going to cause it to come out more times than it doesn't. So it means a first down for Stony Point, and they take over with about 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. And drop back to pass. Kenneth Calbus does a great move to get open, but takes a sack ultimately. But, Coach, he had a great spin move to free himself up and get a little space to make another play happen, but just gets caught up and sacked again by the Cedar Ridge defense.
Yeah, the thing about this situation now, it's definitely to go down and score. They may feel like they're out of it, but if they get a stop right here, they have plenty time to move the ball and go down there and tie this thing up.
Yeah, that was a 7-yard loss, so it's 2nd and 17 here for Stony Point, and getting a little bit back there with Xavier Hill, who was able to take it to the 27-yard line, or the 22-yard line, so it will be a third down and about 13 here for Stony Point, and they do set down the ball here, so clock keeps ticking. Actually, they're stopped right now. Not sure what's the reason is, but maybe a penalty on the play. I didn't see a flag.
I didn't see any flags, but doesn't mean there weren't any. Okay, White Hat winds it in.
It just needed to pause for a second. So clock continues to run here, just under 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. Kenneth Kalba sends a man in motion, drops back to pass, has nobody there, and gets sacked. And that is number 90 from the defense, Jackson Yazuni, or Yanuzi. He does a great job getting in there for the second sack on that short drive. So Kenneth Kalbas not having much time, really, not seeing it down the field just yet. And Stony Point dropping back to pass 2 times on that drive. Obviously the first play was, a negative sack, which really set up them not being able to run the ball much. But punting close to the back of your end zone here, and if you're Cedar Ridge, you got to love the potential of the field position you got, and ball's on the ground, and he barely gets the ball away. Wow. And that punt goes for a 5-yard punt and actually goes backwards towards the line. So Cedar Ridge will jump on the ball, and wow, they get the ball at the 11-yard line, folks. This is a immense opportunity for this offense to go down the field and score. That play only happened because of the fumbled snap and good pressure that Cedar Ridge has been getting all game. But now it sets them up with the best field position they've had all night tonight.
Yeah, they couldn't have drawn it up any better than this right here.
And a tough snap there for the punter. He's able to do what he can and doesn't get sacked, which, even better, because that would have been even closer field position, but, just able to get it off. So we have that Twins open set here with the dual backs in the backfield. And here's a snap, fake handoff here, and quarterback that's been working all night tonight, and, Killingsworth has been doing a good job running it, just gets stuffed by Mendez again, who's been making plays all over. He might be earning a starting spot here, Coach, with the way he's played tonight.
Yeah, he's he's been just fine as far as putting him in there. The heart of their defense is on the sidelines with a cast, I believe, but he's done quite well for himself tonight.
And you got to be proud of that. So, it brings up a second down and about 13 here. So hopefully both these teams able to get what they want out of this play. But roll out to the right and pressure in his face, and that is Iverson Collins on the tackle there for the sack. So back it up even more. This is going back to the 25-yard line. So line to gain here, Coach, is the 2-yard line for a first down. Touchdown obviously would mean different things, but now Stony Point has given themselves a little bit of breathing room here with the ability to get some tackles for losses and a few sacks.
Yeah, that was huge. They've got to stop them these two plays. That's for sure. They've had chances where they've thrown it up and been one-on-one, and we've gotten pass interference called. And a PI right now would be an absolute killer for Stony Point.
Absolutely, and frustrated Ramsey is. He's just jumping up and down over there on the side because Stony Point didn't have anybody lined up on top of him. So if they would have snapped the ball right there, luckily Stony Point, for their sake, was able to call a timeout. But for Cedar Ridge, almost being able to take advantage of a misalignment there for what could have been, a touchdown ultimately. But it's still a third down and about 20 situation here.
Yeah, there ain't a lot of good plays to call 3rd and 23 if your quarterback's not playing for the Kansas City Chiefs, that type deal. But I'm sure they'll be able to draw something up. I would guess they're going to try and get at least half of it right here, and then on 4th down go for it and try and get the other half. Because obviously they're not going to punt from down here.
No, and we don't know haven't seen a field goal attempt tonight besides the extra points. So, a 7 it could make it a 4-point game, but you still be out of reach by a score. So I know they want the end zone here for Cedar Ridge. The Raiders send a man in motion here. Killingsworth takes the ball, fake handoff, and it goes to Ramsey on the outside, and it is a reverse. He has plenty of room here, and gets dragged out of bounds, and that looked like a horse collar, but it is a very late flag. I almost too late, but I don't know if it will be a horse collar. It certainly looked that way from up here in the booth. But let's see what the call is. I might have seen a holding. But again, penalties here if it is on Stony Point. And it is on Stony Point. Horse collar is the penalty, and that was a late whistle, Coach, a late penalty. And penalties have given the Raiders plenty of opportunities here tonight, Coach.
Zach, we're 1st and goal.
Yes, and that off of just, a stop that would have made, been 4th down. Nonetheless, Cedar Ridge finds himself.
Push him out of bounds, and it's 4th and 11, 4th and 12. And then they would have gotten what they wanted anyway. They wanted to get half of it, and they would have been right there. But now, it's a completely different game now, Zach.
Yeah, now they have 4 downs to do it. So takes a snap. Killingsworth gets hit there by Heeson Yang, who's able to take him down for about a yard gain. So, again, Coach, that clock is really ticking down here. It's under 4 minutes here in the game, and obviously touchdown would be huge for Cedar Ridge, and then it begs the question.
I don't even say it. I messed that. I guessed wrong the last time on that one. I said, shoot, you got the momentum, kick the extra point, and go into overtime, and then Stony Point went for it and didn't get it. So I'm not even going to guess this time.
We'll just have to see, and I have to get in the end zone here. So Killingsworth drops back to pass, has a man open in the end zone, but actually incomplete. It looks like the receiver kind of pulled up on the end of the route. Not sure if he was ready for the ball there. It looked like the defender kind of pulled up a little bit too. So either way, creates a 3rd down and 5 from the goal. 3rd and goal right here. Stony Point hoping to come up unscathed here, but that incompletion does a good thing for Cedar Ridge at least. It does stop the clock, but at this point you're hoping to get down and score and leave as little time as on the clock as possible for the Tigers to get the ball back. Needs to happen right here though. So 3rd down and penalty flag comes out, and again that is Caden Cook on the coverage. So we'll see. And it looks like it's pointing on the offensive side of the ball, push off. So it will be coming back a little bit further, probably replaying 3rd down. But, Coach, here, a penalty.
Okay, is it that, or do you say take the play and say it's 4th down?
Yeah.
Give them one less crack at it. 4th and 5.
Yep, that's what they'll do. So a new unit comes on here. It looks like it is the field goal unit. So, Coach, not going for it here. Maybe seeing some trickery, though. They already did that on a special teams play earlier with the punt. But, obviously feel good about their defense and going for it here with the field goal. So ball's away, and there it is. And it's up, and it's through the uprights. So, Coach.
21-17 with 3:09 to go, Zach.
It is exactly right. Setting the stage perfectly. It is absolutely game time here. And you got to just expect that Cedar Ridge is going to go for the onside kick here, especially taking the 3 points right there.
Yeah. But how many timeouts? I haven't, and timeouts left. They got two left. They've got 2 left, so they've got time to stop them and go down the field. Heck, their pass interference and a long run by Killingsworth from being down near the goal line again. So
yeah, absolutely, and had a penalty helped them out tremendously on that drive. That horse collar. What could have happened if that wasn't a horse collar and it was 4th 11 there? But anyways, you get down to the field and Stony Point, with their backs against the wall, comes out with only 3 points scored. So they got to be feeling good about that, especially about how they got down to the field position there. So truly a lot of momentum changes in this last little bit. But here comes the pooch kick, kind of to no man's land, and that is taken in by Werner, who makes a move up the field, and he keeps on moving. He keeps on moving down to the 38-yard line there. So
he's just a real good high school football player who does a lot of things right.
Absolutely.
The coaches probably trust him quite a bit.
He's one of those guys. Yeah, I mean, he's been played on offense a few times. We've seen tonight. He's on every special teams that they have, returning the kick, in lockdown defender. Had a few penalties tonight, but I think going forward he's going to clean that up and really just understand that you kind of got to lay off a bit. But here we go. Kenneth Calabas takes the snaps and hands it off, and Bolton gets a little bit of room to work here and gets about a 3-yard gain. So it will be the ball at the 41-yard line, 2nd down and about 7 here. And there you're going to want to just drain this clock as we dip under 3 minutes with 2:40 left to go in this game. And the play clock in high school is 40 seconds, so they got plenty of time.
Well, if they stop them right here, I can almost guarantee they're going to use their next timeout.
So 2nd down here. And another handoff here for Stony Point. Dragged down, and that is by number 11. And we do see that timeout here, so I'm sorry that it's number 17, John Rupert did a good job there getting in and making the play, the senior there. So we're going to keep it here for just a second as we have only 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in this game. And, Coach, it is 3rd down and about 5 here.
5.
And, with the way your defense is playing, you got to think, kicking from your own, 47-yard line, hoping to pin them back pretty deep to where it's really hard for them to go down and score, especially if it's an 80-yard drive that, we haven't seen them really pull off yet besides that one big play.
Is that what you're thinking, or are you worried about getting a bad snap and them blocking the punt just like the last time? That's what got us in this situation right here with a 21-17 ball game because Cedar Ridge did a great job on 4th down going after the punter.
Yep.
And
that's right, Coach. I didn't really think about that.
Field.
You got to have a good memory. So, anyways, Kennick drops back to pass and finds a man open, hits him in his hands, and Gomez drops the ball. So, not only does the clock stop, but now, with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the game, Stony Point is going to have to punt the ball away, and Cedar Ridge, with one timeout remaining, is hoping to make something happen here.
If Gomez catches that right there, that's probably all she wrote.
And
but as it is, they're probably not coming after it.
And so here we
They're
go.
just glad
You're right.
to get it back.
And so ball is away, and ball gets tripped on the ground. And oh my goodness, that was a tough punt because the punt came a little bit short. And so number 20 Johnson, the return man for Cedar Ridge, ran up and dove for it, and it just slipped out of his hands and was just jumped on. I believe that's by Gomez. So
it was an end-over-end punt, and he just knew that he couldn't just let it hit the ground and roll. He's probably been told 1,000 times, go make a play, go catch the ball, and just
it's so tough.
Feel awful for him right now.
And you
he
know,
gave a great effort, just didn't make the play.
It was a tough, punt, like right just out of his reach. So, anyways, Stony Point's able to get the ball back here, and essentially, this is going to be the last time out here by the Raiders in hopes that they can get the ball back, get a stop here, and have at least, a couple ticks on the clock left to throw it up and hope for something deep. But, they still have to play these next couple plays here. Would love a first down, but I don't think they can just knee it out here, Coach. I think they need to go down and get the first down.
Yeah, they're going to.
And it has been a fight back and forth between both these teams tonight. It's been unbelievable, the amount of swings.
They fought so hard. Special teams have gone back and forth, made some real good plays, and just unfortunate plays as well.
Oh, yeah. It's on both sides, too. So, I mean, there's been some on that. But, still got to play these next couple plays here, and there's always a chance for anything to happen. So, Stony Point hands the ball off again, and that's Bolton, who takes the ball up, and he gets a tush push, and that is enough for the first down. So I think that will be enough, folks, to probably kneel this one out for Stony Point, as the clock will continue to run here. We're under 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch this. I think I just got a tush push reference here.
Yes, you did, Coach.
Okay, I'm just making sure that, Zach.
They've been talking about so much in the NFL. Only a few teams can do it perfectly, but he got a little extra push from his lineman there.
When your center's the best center in the game, you have the best offensive line in the game, and your quarterback is a state champ power lifter out of the state of Texas, you ought to be able to tush push a little bit better than most of them.
Absolutely, and so surprisingly, we see a timeout here by Stony Point. So they get the clock down to about 1 minute 13 seconds here. I'm sure that's what they wanted to do, really to probably just knee this one out towards the end of the game.
Oh, yes.
So,
gosh, yes. Okay, victory formation.
Right, and that's one of the favorite things for them, for any offense to do.
Best playing football right there.
Is that V formation.
If you're winning. If you're losing, it's the most agonizing thing to look at.
Yep. And this is a modified version of what we usually see, usually under center, just drop back. But nowadays, nobody likes going under center in high school, so we'll see a shotgun snap and Kalbus just take a knee. We'll probably see that happen 2 more times and then be able to go home. But looking elsewhere in the district right now, just let my phone update. Max Prep's app, we are quickly just going to shout out our title sponsor, Covert Ford, and they presenting Round Rock ISD football all year on the iHSFAN network. So feel free to not only subscribe to our channel, but make sure to like it as well, like this video, like all of our other games going on right now. We're bringing you football every Friday and every Thursday for the next couple weeks until we're done, which is always sad because football is very short, but, you know, it is what it is. So my phone not working there for the updates, but we'll get those in a second. And we do see the clock kind of tipping out here. Coaches are leaving the booth. 20 seconds left, 17 on the ticker, and we do have the final buzzer about to be said. And it looks like Stony Point will go to 1-2 in district. Cedar Ridge will stay at 0-3. They will be looking to kind of turn the ship around going into next week, but I think they have a pretty tough schedule going forward. Either way, other scores from around the district: Vandergrift 42-3 against McNeil, so McNeil drops to 1-2 on the district. Same with Stony Point. Manor is losing to Round Rock right now, 42-13, so they will drop to 1-2. So there will be 4 1-2 teams in this district race.
Correct.
So, Coach, that is heating up very quickly. Cedar Ridge will obviously be the one team out, but, you know, good thing is, Coach, all these teams are only one win in district, whereas, you know, they don't have one yet, but it's close enough to try to claw themselves back into the district area.
Oh, yeah. And don't kid yourself, Cedar Ridge is still in the middle of it. They're just at the bottom having to fight harder than anybody else right now. With the schedule in front of them and the losses they have right now, it's just going to be just tough sledding for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about the schedule ahead, and for Cedar Ridge, you know, after this game, they get to go take on Manor at home. They'll be at Vandergrift, then at Round Rock, and then at McNeil. So a few games to where they can definitely get some back, but those Vandergrift and Round Rock are looking like the top 2 teams of district right now, 2 teams that Stony Point has already faced. But Stony Point, on the other hand, gets to go against Vista Ridge, Westwood, McNeil, and Manor to round it out their last 4 games. So really, really loved bringing y'all this game today and enjoyed just seeing some good football and seeing 2 teams that needed to make a win, needed to do what they needed to do to get the job done. And both these teams did fantastic, Coach. I mean, Stony Point obviously got the win tonight. They did what they needed to do, but, you know, they definitely had some help in the terms of turnovers, in the terms of some things breaking their way, as opposed to Cedar Ridge that had a few things, you know, break their way, but ultimately weren't able to capitalize on some good opportunities that they had, right?
I think one of the things Cedar Ridge is going to come back and look at is how many times they got down there close and couldn't quite punch it in.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, but that's just off the top of my head, that's kind of what sticks out to me right now. So good luck to them the rest of the way, and, you know, the Tigers have a big one next week.
They certainly do, and hopefully can able to get a win for Cedar Ridge next week. But for us and what we have going on, I think this whole district is heating up. It's definitely, you know, the time of year we're seeing cooler temperatures, but as far as the competition, as far as the play, you know, we're shaking off the first few games rust, shaking off, you know, off-season's rust is all off. It's mid-season form now. Everybody should be playing their best football, and that's what we're seeing every week in and out. So really, really enjoyed bringing all this game tonight. We will be live next week at Vista Ridge with Stony Point, and I believe the Cedar Ridge crew will be live again for their game as well. And so we really are hoping to see some good football continuing. But make sure you like and subscribe to iHSFAN. We are bringing you Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford all year long into the playoffs. For whatever teams do end up making it, we are super excited to keep it going. Coach, any last words for both these teams tonight?
No, good luck the rest of the way, and seniors keep fighting. You only have a few more left, possibly.
And that's one of the toughest things every year, saying goodbye for the last time. But that's not going to happen for another couple weeks. We'll see if both of these teams can make it into the playoffs, as that is heating up. But from Zach Epstein and Coach Bouchong, Mickey Bouchong here at Kelly Reeves Athletic Center, we are proud to bring you IHS Fan Football presented by Covert Ford. Thank you for tuning in